From Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, Rockford Rivets baseball is on the air. The Rivets look to extend their win streak to 5 games this season as they come in at 7-4, taking on the 2-8 Wisconsin Woodchucks. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast alongside Adam Cohen. I'm Larry Larson. Adam, lots to get to in this pregame show, but last night's victory for Rockford was a resounding one. 16-2 over these Woodchucks, a franchise record, 16 runs.
The offense has certainly looked really good as of late. Every single starter picked up a hit in yesterday's victory, and they were highlighted by Brandon Camilla's home run, and he also went 3 for 5, yet another multi-hit game for him. Matt Higgins also at his team-leading second home run, had a 2-run shot over the center field wall. So offensively looking really good, and then bullpen, they're continuing their dominance. John Lundgren picked up the win, throwing 3 scoreless innings after leaving Zach Kameen, who threw 4 innings of 2-run ball, striking out 8.
The Rivets have now won 7 of their last 8. Safe to say the screws are hot before we get to the starting lineups. We talked to Josh Cohen pregame. Let's kick it to an interview with the Rivets skipper. All right, here with Rivets manager Josh Cohen. Josh, last night was a fun one. Franchise record 16 runs. First off, how much fun is it to be around this team right now?
It's a blast. It's something new every day with these guys. They enjoy being around each other. Us as a coaching staff, we enjoy being around them. They have fun. You know, they do things right. They play hard every single night. They do exactly what we ask. It's a bunch of really good kids that want to get better and develop. And so far, you know, we couldn't ask for a better group to be around day in and day out.
4-game win streak now. What's been going right compared to the start of the regular season here?
Yeah, I think we're finally, you know, we're comfortable again on the field. And you see it just from the daily work with batting practice. You know, we're playing great team baseball. You know, our bullpen, our starting pitching, they've both done a great job, and our defense has been really solid as of late. And we've strung together some hits, which, you know, guys are getting on base, and we've allowed guys chances to produce some runs. So all in all, we're just playing really good team baseball. And again, you know, these guys play hard, and they want to win. And that's, you know, that's all that we can ask.
Bullpen hasn't allowed a run in their last 14 or so innings pitched. How much confidence does that give you as a manager to know whenever you go to the bullpen, they're probably not going to allow much?
Yeah, you know, well, with the game of baseball, you know, you just never know what can happen. But, you know, I've said it since the beginning, you know, I have the utmost confidence in each one of those guys down there. And when they're ready, you know, they're going to get the ball. So it doesn't really matter who it is. I trust every single one of them. So they're ready to pitch. They want to be out there, and you know, we trust them with the baseball. So it's a luxury to have as a manager to be able to give the ball to each one of those guys who are going to give us quality innings.
Yeah, certainly. And one last thing here. With the offense, a few guys have been struggling out of the gate, and you've seen a number of those guys pick it up. Jeff Heinrich, Brandon Comia, namely. It's still a few guys struggling. Bobby Seymour, Jake Vanderwall, maybe. How are their swings coming along, and what do you see as a manager from that perspective?
No, I think it's just going to take one of those breakout hits, really. That's what it comes down to. You've seen with, you know, Jeff and, you know, some other guys, they saw one fall, and then all of a sudden they were able to, you know, have, you know, better at-bats from that point on, and their approaches became better. And, you know, with the guys that we have struggling right now, you know, I wouldn't say it's a lack of confidence. I just think, you know, to see one fall in a big situation will help them get a little more comfortable in the box. Their approach can get back to the way that it is. And you know, the guys that are struggling, those guys, they're working every day, whether it's in batting practice or early work. They're working on small adjustments, approach, and you know, it's just a matter of time when those guys, they start to get in the swing of things. And you know, the great part about it is, you know, it doesn't matter who's in the lineup every day. We have so much depth that we can pretty much just plug and play whoever. And it seems that some guys are, you know, stepping up when their name's in the lineup. So It's that's great to have, but I expect those guys to come around sooner than later.
They've got lots of talent. I'm sure they'll get there. Josh, good luck today.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Larry.
National anthem just wrapped up from Athletic Park. Thanks for joining us. It's a beautiful day for baseball in northern Wisconsin. Let's get you your starting lineups for today's game. First, from the Rockford Rivets, managed by Josh Keim, the hitting coach is TJ Merrick. Leading things off is Drew Grace, the freshman from Kentucky. Cam McDonald, the right fielder. Jeff Heinrich, batting third and playing third base. Bobby Seymour, the cleanup batter, the junior from Wake Forest. Batting fifth and catching, Ryan Hampy, the sophomore from the University of Illinois. Batting sixth, Matt Higgins in left. Daniel Carinci in the 7th spot. He'll play second base. Today's DH, Joe Rossetti in the 8th spot. And to round things out, batting ninth, Dom Hughes, the center fielder.
The defense for the Woodchucks is as follows. In the outfield, Adam Frank will take over in left. Adrian Maya over in center. Pablo Ruiz in right. Around the horn, Caleb Denny. Layden Banjoff at short. Miles Austin will scoot over to second base. Cale Baker, the usual catcher, will move over to first base. Isaiah Mirabal behind the dish. And Sayer Diedrich back on the mound against the Rivets in his second start.
Diedrich pitched against the Rivets in the first meeting between these two teams. That was back on July 1st. He went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, walked 3, and struck out 3. The freshman from Nebraska stands at 6'1", 190, and is a native of Omaha.
Last time we saw Dietrich come in as a two-way player, but today he is just pitching, not hitting. He will give you a good fastball and a nice curveball from the left-hand side. Those are his bread and butter pitches.
So Drew Grace about set to step in to the right-handed batter's box. Was 1 for 5 yesterday in the romp that the Rivets put on the Woodchucks. 16-2 victory. Rivets about to get set, looking for their 5th straight victory. Diedrich winds and throws. The first pitch misses low, and we're underway. 75 degrees and sunny, wind blowing in Athletic Park. Diedrich working from the left side, finds the strike zone there with a fastball, and it's 1-1. Grace with his hands behind his batting helmet, waggling the bat slightly. The 1-1 misses outside at 84 miles per hour, and it's 2-1. Just getting underway in Wausau, Rivets and Woodchucks.
Rivets have showcased several leadoff hitters, and Drew Grace finds himself back in that role.
2-1 misses well outside, and it's 3-1 on Grace.
Other players that we have seen in the leadoff role have been Dom Hughes, Brandon Comia as well.
Here's the 3-1 to Grace. Swung on, slapped the other way. It will go foul. Down into some canopied areas down the line. It's a beautiful ballpark here in Wausau. Lots of extra seating areas down each line. And it's full on Grace. Here's the payoff pitch from Diedrich. Grounded up the middle, ranging to his right is Austin. Dives, can he make the play? He cannot. Could not get the play off. He did not get the ball out of his arm, out of his glove, I should say, quick enough. And Drew Grace is aboard with a leadoff single.
A lot of credit to Miles Austin over there at second base, ranging to his right with the backhanded snare. Impressive that he kept that ball in the infield, but just unable to come up that good solid throw. Drew Grace way too fast.
Brings up Cam McDonald. McDonald, the right-handed batter, sophomore from Illinois. First pitch to him. Popped up, out of play, off to the right side. It's 0-1. Yesterday, McDonald did not play. We did see him on Friday night in Rockford, however. He had a game-tying double in what turned out to be 6-run seventh inning that won the game for Rockford. Grace takes his lead off first. McDonald waits for the 0-1. Here it is, fouled straight back, and it's 0-2.
With that game-tying two-run double that we saw against the Rafters, you got to start to think that McDonald is coming around. And they put him in the two-hole. I don't think we saw him all too often there last season there, Larry.
McDonald, a returning Rivet, usually bats in the heart of the order, but Josh Kime moves him up to the 2 spot today. Slightly open batting stance. His back foot is on the back chalk of the batter's box. The 0-2 fastball misses outside at 85 miles per hour from Diedrich. 0-0 Rockford, top half of the first, just getting underway in Wausau.
Drew Grace taking a big hearty lead off first base. Needs to be careful with the lefty, though.
Diedrich from the stretch fires off speed, lined up the middle. Going back is Maya in center field. He's got a beat on it and makes the catch for the first out of the top half of the first. That brings up Jeff Heinrich with Drew Grace on first base.
McDonald just missed a little bit, got a little bit underneath that one, and skied it to center field to Maya for out number 1.
Uniforms today, the Wisconsin Woodchucks wearing their home whites with green pinstripes, white caps, green bills. The Rivets in their road grays. Runner goes, pitch outside, throw down, is in time to get Grace. A great throw from Isaiah Mirabal. Hoses down Drew Grace at second base for the second out of the inning. The pitch was a ball. 1-0 on Heinrich, now 2 down.
It was a great throw and a nice tag from Austin. Really just got the tag on the foot before Grace slid in.
Second pitch to Heinrich misses low, and it's 2-0. Heinrich had a big night last night, continuing to have a hot streak here after starting the season slow. He was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. 2-0 to him. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 2-1.
Heinrich's been settling in a groove back-to-back nights with 3 RBIs.
5 for his last 9. 2-1, lined up the middle, a little bit too hard as it finds the glove of Adrian Maya, and that ends the first inning. Sayer Diedrich allows a leadoff single, but Drew Grace caught stealing at second base, and Rockford goes down in order from there. It's Rockford 0, Wisconsin coming up on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Athletic Park. 0-0 ball game. Rivets and Woodchucks. Here's how Wisconsin lines things up for this ball game today. Manager Ronnie Richardson for the Woodchucks. In the top spot, Adrian Maya. Pablo Ruiz bats second and plays right field. Caleb Denny, the lone lefty in the Woodchucks order today, the redshirt freshman from Oral Roberts. Cale Baker, the cleanup batter. Leighton Banjoff bats fifth. Adam Frank, the redshirt sophomore from Miami, bats sixth. Daniel Baruch, Isaiah Mirabal, and Miles Austin the rest of the way.
In the outfield for the Screws, Matt Higgins back in the lineup after his 2-run homer in yesterday's victory. Dom Hewson centered, Cam McDonald seeing action in right field. Around the horn, Jeff Heinrich, Drew Grace, Daniel Torinci, Bobby Seymour at first. Behind the dish, Ryan Hampe on the mound, Cam Bowman.
Bowman, the left-handed pitcher out of Iowa, so it's a Big Ten pitching matchup today. Same pitching matchup we saw back on the 5th between these two teams. First pitch to Maya, a fastball misses high and away, ball one. In that game, Bowman went 1 inning, allowed 1 earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Second pitch fouled off, and it's 1-1. Bowman, the 6'2 left-hander, weighing in at 205 pounds. At Iowa in 2020, allowed 5 earned runs and 3 2/3 as he misses high with a fastball. And it's 2-1. We'll see if Bowman's leash is extended today for Josh Keim. I'm sure it will be. Bowman working from the windup, kicks and deals the 2-1, fouled straight back, and it's 2-2 on Adrian Maya.
Second time through the rotation, we could expect Bowman to go perhaps 4 or 5 innings. Last time we saw him just go 1.
Here's the 2-2 to Maya. Swung on and missed. Bowman goes with the curveball, and he gets Maya swinging for the first out of the first inning.
There's a nice curveball up in the zone, starting the left-hand hitter's batter spots and dunked in, and Maya just unable to get a piece of it.
That brings up Pablo Ruiz, who is 1 for 4 in yesterday's ball game with a triple. The freshman from UCF awaits the first pitch. Here it is. Bowman misses outside with an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-0. 0-0 ball game. Bottom half of the first in Wausau. Bowman kicks and deals the 1-0. That fastball misses low, and it's 2-0.
Bowman features a 3-pitch mix. Fastball in the high 80s and a curveball and his bread and butter changeup.
Here's the 2-0. Jam shot up the middle, and it falls in front of Dom Hughes in center field as Pablo Ruiz is aboard with a 1-out single in the Wisconsin first. That brings up Caleb Denny.
Larry, sometimes it's not about how hard you hit it. It's about where you place it. Jam shot in the center field, and just like that, the Woodchucks have their first runner on base.
Little weak contact. Both teams had some in the first inning. First pitch to Denny. Called strike fastball on the outside corner to the left-hander Denny. Did not play yesterday. Coming into this ball game hitting .286 with 2 homers. Big power threat. Runner goes. Pitch to him. Taken for a strike. Throw down is offline. Drew Grace had to run across the bag to field the throw. Did not get a tag down. And Ruiz successfully steals second base. So now there's a runner in scoring position for Denny.
I think even with a good throw, Ruiz would have been in safely. Had a pretty good jump and was there before the ball went into the glove of Grace.
Bowman comes set, has his sign, ready for the 0-2 to Denny. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Curveball in the dirt, drop third strike. And Hampe fakes the throw down to second base. He's got Ruiz caught up, and he trips, and Hampe doesn't even throw the ball. So Caleb Denny reaches first on a strikeout. Pablo Ruiz is safe at second. And Cam Bowman is in a bit of a jam after an awkward play there. Adam, what was Hampe's rationale?
He was definitely trying to gun out Ruiz at second base. Ruiz is caught about a third of the way off second, but he never threw the ball over there. Usually these catchers are not afraid to throw, but that time Hampe double clutched it a bit too much.
First pitch to Baker, double steal on. Hampe's throw goes down to third. It is not in time. Both runners steal second and third base respectively. Ruiz moves up to third, Denny moves up to second. And we see a little aggressive calling from Ronnie Richardson.
The Woodchucks are not afraid to run, Larry. They actually, entering tonight's game, have 7 players with multiple stolen bases.
Bowman goes back to the windup with runners on second and third. The second pitch misses inside, and it's ball 2. Baker was 2 for 3 yesterday with a double and a walk. It's just 2 for 23 this season. Does not have an RBI. Nice spot for him here. 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a fastball at 88 from Bowman. 1 down, bottom half of the first. 0-0. Wisconsin threatening. Pablo Ruiz on third base. Caleb Denny on second. Righty on lefty. 2-1. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 2-2. A strikeout here from Bowman would be a big second out.
We've already seen 2 strikeouts from Bowman today. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a third here. Might be in line for one of those rare 4 strikeout innings.
Time is called. Baker steps out of the box briefly. Taps his bat on his cleats to knock off some dirt. Bowman steps off, asks to run through the signs again. Steps right back on. Holds the glove at the letters. Winds and deals the 2-2. Check swing, blocked by Hampe on a pitch in the dirt, and it's called strike 3. That will be called a swinging strikeout. Baker did go around, and now there's 2 down. Third strikeout of the inning for Cam Bowman brings up Leighton Banjoff.
Bowman went back with the curveball. Second strikeout he's gotten with that pitch. Has a lot of depth to it.
Runners on second and third for 2 outs, with 2 outs. First pitch to Banjoff, fastball down and in, ball 1. Big spot for the shortstop from Nebraska. Freshman has 5 RBIs. 1-0. Fastball that time catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1.
He last played against the Loggers on July 10th, went 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
Bowman winds and deals the 1-1. Lined through the legs of Heinrich at third base. Coming home to score is Ruiz. Denny rounds third and scores. Cruising into second is Banjoff. The throw is not in time. Leighton Banjoff puts the ball in play in the right spot, right through the 5-hole of Jeff Heinrich at third base. And all of a sudden it's 2-0 Woodchucks here in the bottom half of the first.
Heinrich, usually a standout defender at third base, knew that ball was hit hard and just did not keep the glove on the ground. And just like that, the Woodchucks have a 2-run lead.
That is called an error on Heinrich. First pitch to Frank. Hit into left field. Matt Higgins is underneath it, and he makes the catch to end the Wisconsin first inning. But not before. Leighton Banjoff drives a ball right through the 5-hole of Jeff Heinrich. It scores 2 runs, and the Woodchucks are up 2-0, headed to the second on the Rivets Radio Network. Back for the top half of the second in Wausau. Rivets down 2-0. Sayer Diedrich the lefty pitcher for Wisconsin, working with a lead now. So Rivets put themselves in a first inning hole early on for the second consecutive night. First pitch to Bobby Seymour, the lefty out of Wake Forest. It's a strike. Fastball on the inner half. Seymour did not play last night. Enters this game with a .207 batting average. Diedrich winds and fires the 0-1. Foul ball over the net and out of play. It's quickly 0-2 on Seymour.
A lot of times we see Seymour start off in these 0-2 counts, and although he's tough with 2 strikes, hitters tend to bat worse when they're quickly behind 0-2.
Lefty on lefty. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and a sky-high pop-up. Leighton Banjoff, the shortstop, has a beat on it. He makes the catch over his head. Ended up drifting out into left field for the first out of the inning. Still 2-0 Wisconsin Woodchucks. Rivets looking for their first run of the day. Up comes Ryan Hampy.
That one almost went into the Bermuda Triangle between Adam Frank, Andrea Maya, and Leighton Banjoff. Banjoff having a pretty athletic play there, catching it over his head.
First pitch to Hampy, taken for a ball in the dirt. Hampy didn't play yesterday in the Rivets 16-run outburst. 1-0 to him. Fastball outside. He's ahead 2-0. Hampy can draw the walk very well. Leads the team with 8 of them. Leads the team in on-base percentage, .556. Here's the 2-0 from Diedrich to Hampy. That time a fastball catches the outer half, and it's 2-1.
He's also started to come around with the bat, too, batting .348, second on the team.
Here's the 2-1 from Diedrich. Fastball inside, and it's 3-1 on the right-handed hitting catcher from the University of Illinois, soon to be fighting Illini this fall. He takes ball 4 down low. Fastball misses again for Diedrich, and it's a 1-out walk in the top half of the second.
Last time the Rivets faced Diedrich, he allowed 3 walks in just 2.2 innings pitched. And that could be a common theme that we see from Woodchucks pitching. They even hit 4 guys yesterday, too.
Rivets down 2-0. Runner on first, top half of the second. Matt Higgins steps in, lefty on lefty. First pitch to him. High fly ball, tailing into left field. Adrian Maya gives way to Adam Frank, who makes the catch in left field for out number 2. Score at F7. 2 down for Daniel Carinci.
That's what you call the left-handed slice there, Larry. When a left-handed hitter hits a sky-high pop-up, they'll drift towards the left field. And that one got a little bit aided by the wind, too. Originally, looked like it was going to go to Maya, but instead it went to Frank.
In steps Daniel Carinci with 2 down. The second baseman from Kansas State takes a fastball on the outer corner for strike 1. A little bit of a wide strike zone from Eric Martinez, the home plate umpire today. Ryan Hampy on first base. 0-1 to Carinci. Chopper to shortstop. Banjoff flips to Austin at second to get the force, and that ends the Rockford second inning. The Rivets can't take advantage of a 1-out walk from Ryan Hampy, and the score remains Rivets 0, Woodchucks 2, going to the bottom half of the second on the Rivets Radio Network. Rivets down 2-0, bottom half of the second. Rivets Woodchucks from Wausau. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, the lower third for the Woodchucks in the bottom half of the second against Cam Bowman, who surrendered 2 unearned runs in the top half of the first, thanks to a Leighton Banjoff knock that went through the legs of Jeff Heinrich. And Banjoff ended up on second base, 2 runs scored. And now Bowman working from behind. The first pitch to Daniel Baruch. Off-speed offering misses in the dirt. Ball 1. Baruch, the right-handed batter. Freshman out of Boston College. Tonight's DH. 1-0 to him. Fastball outside. And Bowman is behind 2-0.
All things considered, he had a pretty good first inning. Struck out 3 and did not get any help from his defense.
2-0 from Bowman. Slapped the other way, foul by Baruch. Baruch did not play yesterday, went 1 for 13 games prior to today.
We actually have not seen him play since the 5th, where he went 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts.
So he has faced Bowman before. 2-1 from Bowman, fouled off the net. And it's 2-2. Bowman working back to even things out. Wind blowing in here at Athletic Park. It's a hitter's park, but when you've got the wind, that'll help the pitchers out a little bit. Bowman's ready for the 2-2. Here it is to Baruch. Foul ball off the leg of Baruch, and he tumbles to the ground in pain. Gets back up, but that one's got to hurt. He does have a leg guard on his left leg, so the front leg of a right-handed batter. But that didn't help much. Caught one off the ankle there, and it's another 2-2.
Honestly, I haven't seen too many times in a baseball game where it goes right off the leg guard. I always find somewhere else. So perhaps almost more mental than anything else, and just it can be protective, but usually doesn't end up hitting there.
Baruch steps back in, awaits the 2-2. Here it is. Bowman goes off speed and misses outside, and it's full. Bowman working from the windup, side steps and fires the 3-2. Fastball catches the inside corner. Strikeout looking for out number 1, and that's Cam Bowman's 4th strikeout of the day. He's mowing them down.
Well, as mentioned, Larry, Bowman's looked pretty sharp today. Just that error back in the first, and didn't really get too much help from Hampy on that drop 3rd strikeout. But he's really mowing down these Woodchucks hitters thus far.
So in steps the 8-batter, Isaiah Mirabal. First pitch to him. Curveball at 75 miles per hour. Misses outside in the right-handed batter's box. Mirabal made his Northwoods League debut last night. Went 1 for 3. The redshirt sophomore from Hillsborough Community College. 1-0 misses low, and it's 2-0. That time Bowman went back to the curveball. Put it in the dirt again. Kicks and deals the 2-0. That time he finds the zone with a fastball at 88, and it's 2-1.
Bowman hasn't been afraid to throw the inside fastball against righties today.
Kicks and deals the 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Up high in the zone that time, and Bowman again works it back even, 2-2.
Really locating that fastball well. Could go back a 3rd time.
Now he's working quickly, 2-0. Curveball misses outside. Bowman really in a rhythm here. Rivets down 2-0. Bottom half of the second inning. Bowman winds and deals for the payoff pitch. It misses inside, and it's ball 4. 1 out walk. Mirabal reaches. That brings up Miles Austin, the 9-hitter.
Not a bad idea to go back with the curveball there. Missed off the inside corner. Trying to work inside and then come back inside of the curveball, but to no avail.
Austin steps in with Mirabal on first base. Bowman works back to the stretch. The first pitch to Austin nearly hits him. Moves his hips out of the way of that fastball at 88. Austin was drafted in the 20th round of the 2019 draft by the Brewers, instead elected to head to Alabama. The 1-0 ripped into left field. Going back is Matt Higgins. He looks up and that ball is gone. It's a 2-run home run for Miles Austin. Brings home Isaiah Mirabal, and it's 4-0 in the bottom half of the second. That one got out of here in a hurry.
That one was absolutely scorched. I thought it might have had a chance to try to hit that house over there. Probably missed it by about 10 feet over in left field. And you see why Austin was drafted as a nice blend of power and speed at the bottom of the order.
Had struggled a bit. Enters this game hitting .226, but he goes yard there. It's 4-0 Woodchucks. Cam Bowman looked to be getting in a rhythm, but allowed that walk to Mirabal, and Austin made him pay. Here's the top of the order, and Maya. He takes a fastball inside, 1-0. Maya struck out swinging back in the first, last inning. Austin fought that ball through the wind to go yard. It is blowing in. 1-0 to Maya. Ripped the other way, and it drops just foul. Maya fought that one off the hands. Almost got it to drop for what would have been extra bases. Instead, it's 1-1.
That would have kept the pressure going against Bowman, but luckily for him, he caught a break.
Bowman has been pitching well, but allowed that big hit. 1-1 to Maya. Off-speed misses outside, 2-1. That is Bowman's first home run allowed this year for the Rivets in his second start. Winds and deals the 2-1. Ground ball down the left field line, foul. Third base coach for the Woodchucks could not scoop it up. Now he has to chase it down on the warning track on the left side. Maya, the right-handed batter. 0 for 9 so far this season. Here's the 2-2 to him. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Hampy throws on to first to retire Maya for the second out of the inning. 5 strikeouts now for Cam Bowman. And up comes Pablo Ruiz with 2 outs.
Even though 4 runs have come across the plate for the Woodchucks, Bowman's really mowing them down. These hitters are not really getting too much hard contact besides Austin. Pretty much the lone blemish on the day for him.
First pitch to Pablo Ruiz. Check swing on a curveball in the dirt. He did not go, says the first base umpire Nicholas Webb. 1-0 on Ruiz, who reached back in the first on a single. Stole second base and came around to score. 1-0. Fastball inside. Ruiz dances out of the batter's box to avert that pitch, and it's 2-0. Ruiz sporting the long sleeves today. 2-0 to him. Chopper through the left side, and it gets through past a reaching Drew Grace. 2 at-bats, 2 singles for Pablo Ruiz as he reaches with 2 outs in the bottom half of the second. 4-0 Woodchucks. They're looking to add more here in the second inning with already 2 runs in. Brings up Caleb Denny.
Never hit from Ruiz that just found the right place. We saw in the first inning a bloop single that dunked into center field, and this time around one that just got through the 5.5 hole between Heinrich and Grace.
Ruiz gets a pickoff throw immediately from Cam Bowman. He wasn't too far from the bag, and he just simply stepped back. Bowman, the lefty, does have that advantage working for him. Didn't work back in the first as Ruiz swiped second. First pitch to Denny is a balk, so the pitch does not count, and Ruiz moves up to second base. And in a way, Ruiz kind of forced that at him.
Well, his 2 stolen bases back in the first, and he certainly caught the attention of Bowman.
Now this will be the first offering to Denny. Bowman comes set and delivers. Ruiz takes off for third. The throw down is in time to get him. Ryan Hampy hoses down Pablo Ruiz, trying to steal third base, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. But the damage is done on a 2-run home run from Miles Austin that brings home Isaiah Mirabal, and it's 4-0 early on in Wisconsin, Head to the third inning on the Rivets Radio Network. 4-0 Woodchucks. Top half of the third in Wausau. Rivets down early 4-0. Rivets will attempt to come back with the 8-9-1 hitters here in the third. Joe Rossetti, Dom Hughes, and Drew Grace. The lefty Rossetti steps in against the lefty pitcher, Sayer Diedrich, working from the windup, delivers the first pitch. Fastball inside, ball one. Rossetti, the sophomore from Quincy, is today's DH for the Screws. Just 1 for 12 so far this year. 1-0 to him. Fastball hits him. So the first batter of the Rivets' third inning reaches first base as Rossetti sprints down to first base. Looks like he's okay after that hit by pitch. It brings up Dom Hughes.
Sometimes when you get hit by a pitch and you run down the bat, that can start getting your team going. A little bit of humor out there from Rossetti. We saw 5 hit by pitches from Woodchucks pitching yesterday, and not a bad way to get on as the Rivets are chasing 4.
Dom Hughes steps in, the first pitch to him, misses outside. Hughes was a victim of 2 of those hit by pitches yesterday. It's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Hughes is a tough hitter to pitch to. Crowds in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. He gets the 1-0, ground ball to short. Austin goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. Hughes, the speedy runner, doesn't even garner a throw down to first base. So Hughes reaches on the fielder's choice. Rossetti is cut down 4-6. And there's 1 out for the top of the order in Drew Grace.
Looks like that ground ball started to slow down once it hit the dirt and gave enough time for Hughes to beat out the attempted throw. There actually was no throw. He just got there since he's so fast.
Diedrich steps off before delivering the first pitch to Grace. 4-0 Woodchucks, top half of the third. Hughes takes his lead, not going. First pitch misses high and away to Grace, who singled in the first inning.
He also got caught stealing later in the inning, too. Had a perfect 2 for 2 in stolen bases before then.
Diedrich throws over to check on Hughes. He's back safely, standing. Now he'll take off his batting gloves and put on a base runner's glove on his hand. Sayer Diedrich set for the 1-0 to Drew Grace. Here it is. Chopped foul behind the plate. It's 1-1. Runner on first, 1 down. Top half of the third. Rivets down 4-0.
I don't think that Hughes will be running at this point. Drew Grace is a pretty good contact hitter, and Rivets are chasing 4, so they don't want to give up any of their base runners right now.
Grace just has 1 strikeout all year. Diedrich comes set at the belt and delivers the 1-1. Misses high and away with an 83-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 2-1. Diedrich working quickly, already back on the rubber. Hughes not taking much of a lead at first base. Now takes a few more steps. Approximately 4 feet away from the bag. Diedrich slides step and fires a fastball outside, and it's 3-1 on the Rockford leadoff hitter.
That one didn't miss all too much. Kind of almost went around the zone.
Diedrich set for the 3-1. Hughes leads off first base. Diedrich looks at him, now delivers. Fastball outside, and that's ball 4. Drew Grace reaches on a walk, and the Rivets are threatening with runners on first and second for Cam McDonald in the third.
Pretty much the same pitch as the last one, so home plate umpire Eric Martinez being consistent, at least the plate, and just like that, a good hitter McDonald is starting to get things going for himself. There's a couple ducks in the pond.
This is the exact situation he faced the other night when he came through with a game-tying double. First pitch to him, ground to third over Caleb Denny. It took a bad hop. Rounding third is Dom Hughes. He's going to be sent. The throw in doesn't reach the plate as Hughes dives across home plate safely, and the Rivets have their first run of the game on an RBI single from Cam McDonald. Makes it 4-1 here in the third. Drew Grace just moves up to second base, and the Rivets have something going.
A couple of hard-hit line drives have caught up these third basemen. Caleb Denny, the victim this time around, and that was a nasty hop. Almost came right at his face. And good job from manager Josh Kime sending Hughes on that one, as the Rivets now trail by 3.
In steps Jeff Heinrich with runners on first and second. They both go. The fastball misses outside. Throw goes down to second, and McDonald is thrown out at second base. Miles Austin tags him out down there. Nice throw from Isaiah Mirabal. That's his second caught stealing of the day. Showing off the arm from behind the dish, but Drew Grace moves up to third base. Not a stolen base. Defensive indifference. Now there's 2 down here in the third. Another run is 90 feet away for Rockford. They've already got 1 in. 1-0 on Jeff Heinrich. Diedrich delivers. Fastball low at 84. Heinrich lined out to center on a hard hit ball to end the first inning. Diedrich set at the belt, kicks and fires. Misses the zone again, that time with a changeup, and it's 3-0. Think Heinrich gets the 3-0 green light with 2 outs and a runner on third?
Oh, I think he does. Hit the ball hard last time. 6 RBIs in the last 2 games. Definitely gets the green light.
Here's the 3-0. He does swing. Grounded down to third. Caleb Denny gobbles it up and throws on to Cale Baker at first base for the 3rd out of the inning. Rockford pushes across their first run of the day on an RBI single from Cam McDonald, but they are set down after that. After 2.5, it's Wisconsin 4, Rivets 1 on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Wausau. 4-1 ball game in favor of the home team, Woodchucks. Cameron Bowman back out there for his 3rd inning of work. His season-long outing, of course, in his 2nd start. He just went 1 inning pitched in his first appearance, but there is action in the Rivets bullpen. He'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Woodchucks order, starting with Caleb Denny. Lefty on lefty. Bowman winds and delivers. Slow curveball fouled off the foot of Denny, and it's 0-1.
Denny was due up back in the second, but not before Pablo Ruiz got gunned out at third base by Ryan Hampy. So this time around, he'll get a full at bat.
Bowman working from the windup from the left side of the rubber. 0-1. Goes off speed again and misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Denny struck out and reached on that strikeout back in the first inning. The 1-1 to him. Ground ball hops off the mound, backhanded by Drew Grace at shortstop, fires onto first to make the play for the first out of the inning. Nice play by Drew Grace on an awkward hop off the bump. That brings up Cale Baker.
We've seen a lot of mustard on these ground balls in the game so far. That time around, at least it popped right into the glove of Drew Grace. A lot of credit goes to him, charging in on that one, getting it before it bounced, and making the strong throw to first base.
Baker steps in 0-1. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. A changeup on the outer half of the dish, and it's 0-1.
Baker is a really big hitter, 6 feet tall, but weighs 250 pounds.
Junior from Ole Miss watches the 0-1 miss upstairs. Curveball, 1-1. Baker's first name is spelled with a C, not a K. The 1-1 chopped foul down the third base line. Is pronounced like the vegetable, but spelled C-A-E-L. I wonder if he's done any baking with kale.
Could be one of his favorite foods, too. I think they call it a superfood as well.
Blacklick, Ohio native. Waits for the 1-2. Here it is. Off-speed offering outside for ball 2. Bowman going more to the off-speed pitches through the second time in the order. We're seeing that change up a bit more. Here's the 2-2 to Baker. Swung on and grounded foul down the third base line again. We will do the 2-2 over.
Usually when pitchers head over to the off-speed during the first couple of pitches, they'll go with fastball towards the end of the at-bat, try to change things up, change the speed. But that time around, Baker fouled it off. Wonder if Bowman tries to go with the high fastball this time around.
Could be hard to blow a high pitch by Baker. Hit 4 home runs this season in just 16 games for Ole Miss, including 2 in a single game against Louisville. 2-2 to him. Bowman goes to the changeup, and he draws the swing and the miss from Baker. That's strikeout number 6 of the day for Bowman, out number 2 of the bottom half of the third. 4-1 Woodchucks, 2 down for Leighton Banjoff.
Really good mixing and matching from Bowman, going with the hard fastball inside and then going with the slow changeup on the outside corner.
And that is Baker's 15th strikeout of the season. First pitch to Banjoff, another off-speed offering and a weak swing and a miss from Banjoff. 0-1. Banjoff had a big blow back in the first. Reached on an error, 0-1. Curveball in there called strike 2. That error went through the wickets of Jeff Heinrich at third base and scored 2 runs. Bowman working quickly, 2-0 lined, hard hit but foul down the left field side. A young man chases that one down, tumbles and grabs the ball. A somewhat athletic play. Bowman again working quickly, another 0-2, misses in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
Strikeouts are a big weakness in the Woodchucks lineup. They have actually some pretty good power, but Banjoff, also not immune to the strikeouts, has 13 Ks on the season.
Bowman winds and deals the 1-2. Another curveball chopped to Grace. Backhands, Fields throws, and he throws out Banjoff at first base. To end the Woodchucks' third inning, they're set down 1-2-3, and the score holds 4-1 Wisconsin on the Rivets Radio Network. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as it's 4-1 here in Wausau in favor of the Woodchucks. Other action around the pod, Wisconsin Rapids up 3-0 on Green Bay just south of here at Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids, and the other score 5-0 Fond du Lac over La Crosse in the bottom of the third at here Baker Field in Fond du Lac. For the next three, here's Adam Cohen.
Diedrich will be facing Seymour, Hampy, and Higgins to start off the top of the fourth in this 4-1 ball game. Last inning, Diedrich gave up an RBI single to Cam McDonald. Slight pause right now. Not exactly sure why. Perhaps someone was standing out of the dugout or a ball came on the field, but now both Seymour and Diedrich ready to go. The first pitch, and curveball misses in the dirt, 1-0. Although Seymour has struggled of late, batting .207 just entering tonight's ballgame, he does have a 4-game hitting streak, and it's all singles. The pitch, and this one finds the zone. Curveball hits the lower outside part, 1-1. Probably going to see a lot of off-speed thrown to Seymour, the 1-1. Fouls that one off to the right-hand side, 1-2.
Those off-speed pitches you got to be careful with to a big hitter like Seymour. So if you leave them hanging, there's a good chance he will take you yard. Still without a home run this year, but we know the power's there.
And the 1-2. Fastball missed low. Might be a little bit more difficult with him with the wind blowing out on this 3-1 count in a 4-1 ball game. But he has a lot of power. Definitely get over to 316 and fouls it off himself that time. Home plate umpire Eric Martinez is going to go out to the mound, hand the ball to Diedrich. Make sure that Seymour has some time to recuperate. Taking his time, unlacing the batting gloves and then relacing them. See that as a kind of a common trend for hitters.
Maybe tighten up the batting gloves a little later in the count, put a little more pressure on yourself. Literally.
Definitely can see that. He'll step back in there for a 2-2, try to get things started as Rivets trail by 3. And he grounds that one over to second. Austin Fields fires to first in time, and that's one away.
Seymour just rolled over the off-speed offering there. Diedrich had his number with the off-speed pitches as Seymour fouled 2 pitches off himself before that, and he finally induces a ground ball in play.
Can't say I'm too surprised going with the off-speed to the big hitter Seymour. Now to the plate is Hampy, and he swings through the fastball, 0-1. Hampy, his last time up, drew his 9th walk of the season, easily leading the Rivets and extending his .556 on base percentage. Here comes the 0-1, and that time a fastball trickles in the dirt, even the count at 1. He caught Pablo Ruiz back in the second. Nice throw to third base, the 1-1. Fastball missed low and outside, now 2-1. He's really starting to come around for the Rivets. Always getting on base, but now his bat is starting to come through. Had a really impressive tenure at John A. Logan College. As the curveball goes around the zone. 3-1 count. Good hitter's count for Hampy. Do you think he unloads here?
I think he definitely can. Diedrich's got to be careful. You don't want to walk Hampy, but you also can't leave a pitch up.
3-1. And a big swing and miss. Goes with the fastball outside. Really good 3-1 pitch by him. Usually hitters in a hitter count will try to look for something middle in, and Hampy did not get that. Now comes the payoff. Hampy laces it through the hole into left field. He stays hot, sending that on-base percentage. Raises his batting average a little too, and the Rivets have a runner on board.
Hampy has reached twice, and that's what you expect from him. He is really, really heating up for the Rivets as of late. The team has collectively heated up, and I think Ryan Hampy is a big part of that. Looking at his numbers at John A. Logan, he had a great season, so it's only what you would expect.
got off to a bit of a slow start of the bat, but really just a hit in every game as Higgins swings through the first pitch, actually foul tips into the glove of Mirabal, 0-1. Higgins' last time out flew out to left field. Long hold from Diedrich. Lifts and fires. And Higgins fouls off that one, 0-2. Although Higgins does have a team-leading 8 RBIs, entering tonight's game just batting 185. Seems like when he does play, he comes through in big moments, but still not able to string a series of hits together and raise that batting average. And ball trickles in the dirt. Hampy probably could have gone to second on that one, but didn't get a great read. Looked as if Mirabal was going to block it at first, but have to go back to first.
Hampy does have a little speed, probably could have moved up, you're right on that. As for Higgins, he's found a way to get the ball in play lately, but hasn't fallen. Sometimes you need a little luck.
Another long hold from Diedrich, taking his time this time through. And Higgins swings and misses. Another foul tip into the glove, actually, as that is the second out for Diedrich, and actually his first strikeout of the game.
Diedrich definitely not a strikeout guy, but finally gets his first K with a runner on first. That's always ideal. Higgins not an easy guy to blow a fastball by because he's got that power.
Cannot say the same about Daniel Carinci, though, as he swings through that curveball. Although he has some pretty good contact skills, he has also struck out 8 times this season. Be a bit of a free swinger at times. Hampy a short lead off first base. He probably isn't going anywhere in this 4-1 ball game. Fastball missed outside, evens the count at 1-1. Dietrich's not really going to overpower you. He's going to work off the corners, mixing that curveball and changeup. Hampy takes a bit larger of a lead. So fastball misses low in the dirt. Now 2-1.
You don't have to have that velocity to be a good pitcher. We see a lot of examples of that in the major leagues, namely Kyle Hendricks. But that makes location of the utmost importance.
2-1. Curveball misses low. Not too surprised you went with Hendricks there, seeing that you're a Cubs fan, but he is the perfect example. They call him the professor, of course.
Of course. There's a Kyle Hendricks connection in this game, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a 3-1. And Carinci fouls the one back. Full count now. Hampy will be going as it's full count and 2 outs. Carinci, as we mentioned, a good back-to-ball hitter. Gets a hold of one, gets an extra base hit. Hampy will probably come around to score, as he has pretty good speed for a catcher on the base paths. Here comes the payoff. And Carinci is down on strikes. Diedrich gets back-to-back strikeouts as he holds the Rivets scoreless. We have a 4-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 4th. The Woodchucks due up. New pitcher for the Rockford Rivets and Jordan Nelson. He's a starter by trade, should give the Rivets some good innings. Larry, tell us more about him.
Well, Jordan Nelson comes in this 4-1 ball game, a long reliever for manager Josh Keim, was a starter last year. Coming into today's ball game, he's pitched 5 2/3 so far this season, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, just one of which is earned, has walked 3 and struck out 3. Does have some strikeout stuff. He's got a nice slider, nice fastball, 2-seamer that can work in or out on hitters, depending on the handedness, of course. But he's not afraid to work to contact, and I think that's one of the best parts of Nelson. He knows when he needs a strikeout, and he knows when to pitch to contact.
Well, not a bad idea to go with contact, as the Rivets actually sport the best fielding percentage of any team in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod at .978. That we did see that error from Heinrich earlier. That is the exception, not the norm. We'll see Norson take off against Adam Frank, Daniel Baruch, and Isaiah Mirabal to start off the bottom of the 4th in a 4-1 ball game. Here comes the first pitch, right on right matchup. Fastball is upstairs at 85, 1-0.
Nelson, funny story on him during quarantine.
The 1-0. And a high pop fly in the infield. Seymour goes into foul territory and makes the catch for out number 1.
There we see Nelson pitching to contact. He stayed sharp in quarantine. Later in quarantine, of course, by pitching in a beer league in Dubuque, Iowa, where he goes to college. Not exactly college-level players, but that's one way to stay sharp. And he was pretty dominant, so it's worked out for him, and he's looked pretty good here in the early season for the Rivets.
First pitch to Baruch. Fastball missed outside. Hey, any way that you can get reps, especially during quarantine, is ideal. A lot of players are working on the offseason, and Nelson, the exception, getting there, as that time around, Baruch swings and misses on the fastball, 1-1.
Not even really the offseason. That's usually when he would be pitching. So he found a way to get reps, getting creative.
Here comes the 1-1, and a strike on the outside corner at 1-2. If you're just tuning in, the Wisconsin Woodchucks are up 4-1. Excuse me. The bottom of the 4th inning, there's 1 out. Jordan Nelson relieves Cam Bowman on the hill. Here comes the 1-2. And did he go around? No, says first base umpire Nicholas Webb. So it'll be a 2-2 count. Not a bad idea to go the fastball outside. Here comes the 2-2. And tapped over to second base. Can be a tough play for Carinci. Fires sideways and gets out. Baruch in time. Baruch fell face first going down the baselines. I think he did that back in Rockford as well. So maybe he needs to sharpen his cleats a little bit, or maybe get some new ones. That's coming a little bit of the norm for him.
Tripping a little bit, stumbled over the bag maybe, but what a play by Daniel Carinci. He had to charge that ball. He fielded it with his glove, which really made the play tricky because he really had to hurry. He dipped down, angled his body, brought his throwing hand down, immediately made the transfer. Nice little submarine throw to Bobby Seymour to get Baruch.
With 2 away, here's Mirabal. So it was fouled right back to the screen, 0-1. 4-1 ball game. Nelson cruising so far. Tired the last 2. And yeah, that was a really good play from Carinci. More on that in a second. Here comes the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 2. He's usually a second baseman or an outfielder by trade, but that was almost as athletic of a play as a shortstop. The 0-2 from Nelson. Goes to the high heat, but Mirabal does not bail on it. 1-2. 1-2 from Nelson. And strike 3 is called in the outside corner. Nelson gets him with the hard fastball. And 3 up, 3 down for him. As we head to the top of the 5th, we'll be right back on the Rivets Baseball Network. Through 4 innings so far, the Wisconsin Woodchucks have a 4-1 lead over the Rockford Rivets. Sayer Diedrich back out there for his 5th inning of work. He's only thrown 61 pitches so far, and he'll be facing 8-9-1 with Joe Rossetti, the DH, leading off.
Diedrich has worked efficiently. He looks a lot better in this outing than his first outing in Rockford on July 5th. Rockford definitely doesn't look like they have his number.
And the first pitch, fastball misses low at 79, 1-0. Definitely looking uncomfortable against Diedrich. They had some momentum in the third. Here comes the 1-0. So strike hits the inside corner, 1-1. But they haven't been able to capitalize that since then. Definitely need another spark to try to get them going. The 1-1. And it hits him. Second straight time it hit Rossetti. Kind of hard to believe, but that's a common trend for the Woodchucks, as Hughes got hit twice yesterday, Lieber got hit twice yesterday, and now Rossetti's been hit twice today.
A free pass of sorts, a little bit painful for Rossetti, but again, he sprinted down to first base just as he did back in the third inning, so he's all right.
The first pitch to Hughes, a curveball in the dirt, 1-0.
You know, a base runner is a base runner, especially when you're down 3 runs. Of course, Rockford's offense is very potent. They probably won't have much trouble should they string something together coming back in this one.
And here comes the 1-0. And laced. It's a fair ball down the line. That should be extra bases for Hughes. And it's going to be another extra base as the throw goes into third. Not in time. Hughes has a sliding triple, an RBI triple, as Rossetti comes around to score. It's a 4-2 ball game, and just like that, Rivets are chasing 2.
We talked about that potent offense. How about Dom Hughes coming through? Now we've got a bit of a discussion between the umpires. I think they're going to discuss whether that ball was fair or foul. Adam, from my perspective, it bounced right over the bag. It was fair up until the bag, and I don't know. There was some trouble out there in right field with the ball, with Pablo Ruiz. Maybe they're discussing that, but I think they're discussing whether or not that ball was fair or foul. And I think, I don't know, it's going to be hard for them to reverse that call because the home plate umpire, the first base umpire, Nicholas Webb, has the best angle. That ball rolled right by him, right under his feet. Eric Martinez, perhaps the home plate umpire, could have a good view, but Michael Carr, the third base umpire, probably has no discussion in this. So we'll see.
It did look like a triple off the bag. And so far, the 3 are still walking. Talking to Jabari Brown, the third base coach, towards the foul line. So a bit longer of a delay. We have a 4-2 ball game after Hughes came and drove in Rossetti with an RBI triple.
Tentatively.
Tentatively, yeah. Keyword there. It definitely looked like it trickled over to first base bag, and that seems like, as you mentioned, a hard play to overturn because, as you mentioned, Webb had the best view on it, and usually you don't really see a play like that overturned. If you got stuck in the wall, that's a different story. But just a fair foul play, not too often you're going to see that. But whatever the reason, these umpires are taking it very seriously. Going to try to come to a decision soon, hopefully.
Well, last year the Rivets were victim of a bad fair or foul call. In a game against Kalamazoo, Andrew Wilhite went deep to right field for what looked like a home run that curled around the foul pole. The umpires ruled it a foul ball when it was clearly fair. And Adam, looks like we've got a ruling.
The ruling is that Hughes will be able to stay at third, and Rossetti does score home, so still a 4-2 ball game. So the Rivets catch a break after that long delay, and now we might see a call to the bullpen, at the very least a mound visit, as Ronnie Richardson will come out and talk to Diedrich. All the infield coming around. It does look like Dietrich's one of the more better pitchers in the Woodchucks rotation, so they will leave him out there. Can't say I'm too surprised. So he'll try to hold down the Ford in a 4-2 ball game. When everything gets settled, he'd be facing the leadoff hitter in Drew Grace, a left-on-right matchup, advantage hitter, and Grace himself has done pretty well against Dietrich. So far in the day, he's 1 for 1 with a infield single and a walk. Infield playing up, they're trying to cut off Hughes at home. Hughes, of course, does have speed. And the first pitch, curveball misses low. Well, with Hughes' speed on third base, gotta say, if it's hit to anywhere else besides the corners, and they're the ones who are up now, middle infield trailed back, should be able to score. And the fastball misses again, 2-0. Hitters count for Grace. You think he gets the green light?
Yeah, on 2-1. He might, depending on the pitch, of course, but I think Grace could be conservative. Dietrich has struggled a little bit this inning.
Now the pitch. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Not a bad idea to go back to the fastball in a 2-0 count. Grace trying to make it a 4-3 ball game. Currently a 4-2 ball game. The 2-1 from Dietrich. And laced up the middle. It'll be 4-3 as Hughes is coming around to score. Grace has himself an RBI in the second hit of the day. And just like that, the Screws are warming up, now trailing by 1.
Now the screws are turning, you could say, and the bottom of the order started it. I think that speaks to the depth of Josh Kime's lineup. The 8-hitter Rossetti starts it with the hit by pitch. The 9-hitter Dom Hughes comes through with a triple. Now an RBI single from Drew Grace. And this inning, probably far from over, as the heart of the Rockford order is going to come up.
We will see a pitching change as Richardson takes the ball out of the glove of Dietrich. We'll get you news on who the new pitcher is coming in a second. Currently, the Woodchucks have a 4-3 lead. The runner on first and Grace is Dietrich's responsibility, and we'll be right back on the Rivets Baseball Network.
All right.
New pitcher for the Woodchucks in Bobby Vaff. Vaff is a right-handed pitcher coming from Corman, New York, and goes to NYT, New York Institute of Technology. Larry, tell us more about him.
In 2 appearances this season, he's pitched 8 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So he's got some good stuff for Ronnie Richardson out of the pen. Hands the ball to him here.
Vaff's first batter will be against McDonald, but steps off there. McDonald drove in the Rivets' first run of the game back in the third, but later was caught stealing at second base. Now a throw over as Vaff is chasing on Grace.
Vath could be a great arm out of the bullpen this season at NYT. Struck out 22 and walked just 5.
Talk about a good K to walk ratio. Big lead from Grace over at first. Long hold from Vaff, and he steps off again. Vath is entering in. Still hasn't thrown the first pitch yet. In a 4-3 ball game with Grace on first base and no one out. Another long hold in the first pitch and fires back to first. Not in time. It was a ball, by the way. So 1-0 count to McDonald, and Grace back over safely at first. Well, when the Rivets are trailing by 1, not a bad idea to get the wheels turning. And Grace does have 2 stolen bases on the season. Here comes the 1-0. Throws in a curveball. A lot of depth on it, coming at 70, and is there for strike 1 to even the count at 1-1. Nice Uncle Charlie, probably has around 11-5 movement. Big lead from Grace at first, and a throw over. That one just a bit closer, but Grace still readily in there. Vaff sporting a pink glove. You don't see that all too often. Usually pitchers' gloves are not that colorful. Another throw over. That time even closer, but somehow Grace slid back in. Certainly keeping him close. Sometimes as a pitcher, though, you can't have all your attention focused on the runner. And we'll see how that affects his at-bat against McDonald. Curveball in the dirt. That'll be a 2-1 count to McDonald. Nice block by Mirabal.
You know, Vath has a lot of work to do in this inning. If he focuses on the batter, really dials in, try to stay low in the zone to McDonald, perhaps he could induce a double play, which would be huge. If he doesn't focus too much, this game could be a Rockford lead with 1 swing.
Another throw over. Grace back in safely this time again. And Larry, you bring up a good point, especially with the arm of Mirabal behind the plate. He's thrown out 2 runners today, one of them being Grace. So he needs to have faith in his catcher as well. Another long hold trying to take off the rhythm of McDonald as he skies one foul and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, on the flip side of that, Grace's lead is big at first base. 6-7 feet perhaps. It's getting out there.
Even if he doesn't steal a base here, there's that one, another close one. That has to be at least 8 pickoff throws by now. And at the very least, Grace does have the attention of Vaff now stepping off the mound. And Grace, he stepped off the mound because Grace is a little banged up. Toss to hitting coach TJ Merrick. Might have been a bit of a low tad there. And he's a little bit out of breath because of it.
I think he just landed hard. Dove back to first base, probably landed hard on that dirt. Messing with his belt buckle a little bit. That could be it.
That could be it, of course, as Vaff comes back in with a 2-2 in a 4-3 ball game. Even though he's thrown a lot over, definitely gets some extra help as Grace lost his breath, and now McDonald calls time. These have been some long at-bats, Larry, and not really the fault of the hitters. Just a lot of pickoff throws and a bit of a banged-up play from against Grace. Another long hold, and here comes the 2-2. Grace running. A deep fly ball, deep left field, and it's off the top of the wall. Grace is running hard. He'll try to come around and score, and he will. It's another RBI double for Cam McDonald. This one tying the game at 4-4. Man, Larry, has Cam McDonald really come through in the clutch today?
Clutch Cam McDonald, 3 runs here in this Rockford 5th, and the line keeps on moving. I guess that's what happens when you focus a little bit too much on the runner. Drew Grace, of course, with good speed, but Vath, after about 8 pickoff throws to first base, leaves one over the heart of the dish for Cam McDonald, who took advantage.
A lot of credit goes to Grace there, even though he didn't necessarily steal a bag. Distracted Vath enough, and that could have been the reason why he got against McDonald. Here comes the first pitch to Heinrich. Fastball upstairs in this 4-4 ball game. And the go-ahead run on second base, and McDonald, who has good speed as well. Another good hitter, and Heinrich due up, who's had 6 RBIs in the last 2 days. Curveball misses outside, 2-0. Heinrich in a hitter's count now. Could get a good piece to hit.
He can certainly drive the baseball. Don't want to leave one out over the heart for Jeff.
The 2-0. Fastball misses inside. Always interesting to see how pitchers do after they give up a big hit. And so far, Vath is all over the place against Heinrich. And Heinrich calls time.
We talked about the Rockford offense a few moments ago before this game got tied up. Things can change in a flash. They've got big power. That's what happens.
And there's strike one. And it all started with Rossetti, who, innocently enough, came on with a hit by pitch. Even though he hasn't come through with a bat, he started this whole rally, and just like that, the Rivets are right back in the ballgame. The 3-1. Curveball misses low as Heinrich has a walk. Runners on first and second. Heinrich on first. McDonald off second. McDonald, of course, representing the go-ahead run in a 4-4 ball game. As Bobby Seymour due up.
Still no outs in this inning. And now you're bringing up perhaps the biggest power hitter in this Rockford order. Dangerous spot for Vath.
First pitch to Seymour. And a fastball hits the outside corner, 0-1. Going to have to be real careful with Seymour. Even though he hasn't flashed the power too much, still a dangerous hitter nonetheless. Runners taking substantial leads. As a fastball in the dirt, nice block by Mirabal. 1-1 count with no one out. McDonald off second, Heinrich off first.
Woodchucks looking to avoid another disastrous fifth inning. If you were watching the game last night, you saw the Rivets put up 10 in the fifth.
The 1-1 is fouled off now, 1-2.
If Seymour connected with that one, that might end up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. He took a big boy hack there.
Vath doesn't throw too hard, low to mid 80s, and Seymour's faced his fair share of hard pitching, so not too surprised he has a hold of this one. On hold now, the 2-2. Fastball upstairs, now a full count. Seymour always a tough at bat. Now in a full count, of course. Could get an even better pitch. Try to change up the score a bit from a 4-4 ball game. And curveball misses inside. Check that, it's a 3-2 count now. So Seymour will step back in there.
Got to be careful here if you're Vath. You don't want to walk Seymour, but you don't want to allow a 3-run home run or an extra base hit.
The payoff, and he misses upstairs. He walks him. So doesn't want any part of Seymour, threw around him the entire at bat. But the Rivets have bases juiced, no one out. Ryan Hampy, arguably their most consistent hitter, due up in a 4-4 ball game.
Woodchucks need an out, Adam. No way around that. Vath needs to work low in the zone here to try and induce a ground ball.
Corners in, middle back. First pitch to Hampy, and it's a curveball dunking in for strike one. Hampy is already having a great day. Walked back in the second, singled back in the fourth. It's a home run and a double this season. And he is up the leaderboards in average as that fastball comes in for a strike. Now 1-1. Ducks on the pond for him. A fly ball should be able to score in a run as he calls time. McDonald off third, Heinrich off second, Seymour off first. Bases loaded, no outs for Hampy. And the 1-1. Curveball missed outside. Hampy didn't wave on that one. Check that, it's 1-2. Needs to be tough with two strikes here, but considering how good his eye is, definitely can work the count. Vath has been all over the place, so still a matchup in Hampy's favor. The 1-2, and a big swing and miss. Vath went with a high heat at 83 miles per hour, and barbered Hampy for strikeout number 1.
That's a huge out for Bobby Vath. Credit to him for battling against Hampy. Immediately delivered 2 straight strikes, then could toy with him a little bit, so he went upstairs with the fastball, which is exuding confidence, especially with the bases loaded, and he blew it right by him.
And he'll try to get out Higgins, too, the left-handed hitter from Bellarmine University. And soft ground ball. They're going to go for the force out at second. It's an RBI for Higgins. And just like that, the Rivets have a 5-4 lead over the Woodchucks. Time and time again, it looks like Higgins has been delivering the clutch blow against the Woodchucks and other teams in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod.
That was big because he put the ball in play, and sometimes that's all you need to do. Another RBI for Matt Higgins. Even though his batting average isn't great, his RBI production is phenomenal.
Sends his team lead with a 9th RBI. First pitch from Vath is a curveball that Corinci does go around on. 0-1 count. Runners on the corners in a 5-4 ball game. Heinrich off third, Higgins off first. Higgins has good speed. Might try to run here. He does. Fastball right down the plate. And it's a high ball. They throw back to home. And it gets underneath the glove of Mirabal. Coasting off to third is Higgins. And he slides in there safely. So credit the double steal. And just like that, the Rivets have a 6-4 lead. Man, we've seen through this inning that speed kills. First starting off way back when. We have Grace off first. And now the base running from Hampy induces that extra run.
They're going to call that an E4, Adam. Bad throw from Miles Austin back to the plate. A risky play. Risky send from Josh Kime, but I like it. Pays off.
Vath pitching from the windup. Fastball misses low. Now 2-1. Well, the Rivets are certainly being aggressive here, as it's a 6-4 ball game now with 2 outs. And here comes the 2-1 from Vath. And loop fly ball right there is Austin, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But that's not before the Rivets score 4 unanswered runs. That's starting to become a theme for them. They have a 6-4 lead over the Woodchucks as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Rivets are up 6-4. They scored 5 runs. They bursted out the top of the 5th. And now they've, of course, already turned it over to the bullpen, which has been excellent as of late. Just 1 earned run in the last 17 1/3 innings and 14.2 straight scoreless innings. A lot of different relievers, but this time they'll turn it over to Jordan Nelson. He'll be in for his second inning of work, and we'll start off against Miles Austin, the first pitch. It's a fastball in there for strike 1. Miles Austin last time up had a 2-run homer off the starter Cam Bowman. The 0-1. Fastball missed outside. Bowman on the day went 3 innings, gave it 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. The 1-1. And fastball misses outside, 2-1. If you're just tuning in, there's no one out. And a 6-4 ball game. Nelson came in relief of Bowman, 2-1. Fastball missed low, now 3-1.
Bowman did a pretty good job early on, really mowed down Wisconsin, but gave up a few big hits.
Now here comes the 3-1. High fly ball. Won't be getting out this time. And Hughes makes the catch. It was a high one. We saw that Grace and Carinci try to come out to center field, but Hughes has the authority, called them all off, and got out number 1.
There's Nelson inducing some weak contact to a guy who showed us some strong contact earlier with the home run, Miles Austin, of course. Nelson went off speed and got that weak fly out.
First pitch to Maya, fastball missed outside. And so far he's thrown an inning and a third scoreless, inducing a couple of weak pop-ups and a ground ball, the 1-0. Skied the other way, but foul, 1-1. Maya in the game so far, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. On hold from Nelson, now here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses inside, now 2-1. 1 out, Rivets are up 6-4, the leadoff hitter, and Maya is up. 2-1 pitch, and he swings through the fastball. Seen a lot of good control from Nelson so far, attacking the zone, working off the corners, changing up his pitches. He's looking really sharp.
He is. That's what you expect from the veteran.
Here comes the 2-2. Goes with the curveball that missed inside, a full count. Didn't miss by all too much. Almost got the strikeout. So it'll be a full count with 1 out. And here comes the payoff. And lays to third, but nice jumping play from Jeff Heinrich. We saw him gobbled up by a ground ball earlier, but makes up with that defensive gem. Ranged to his right and made a nice athletic play.
Heinrich was ready. He was on his toes over there. That's what you got to be as a third baseman, always ready for hard contact. He was just ranging to his glove side and made a quick reaction to make the catch.
Call it the hot corner for a reason, and Heinrich a benefactor of that. Here comes the first pitch to Ruiz. It's a fastball, and it misses outside, 1-0. Ruiz on the day has 2 hits, scored a run, 2 stolen bases. Here comes the 1-0 and swings through that one now, 1-1. Again, going with the fastball, working upstairs. Not the hardest of throwers, but when he throws it up there, certainly helps. The 1-1. Fastball missed outside, 2-1. Nelson has retired all 5 hitters he's faced, 2 outs now for the Woodchucks as they're trailing 2 in a 6-4 ball game. 2-1. Missed outside, 3-1. Don't want to lose him here.
Two out walk wouldn't be the end of the world.
Never a good idea to walk with 2 outs, but here comes the 3-1 as that ball is fouled away, full count.
Surprised that Ruiz didn't lay off that one. Any base runner, it's a positive thing at this point. Woodchucks pretty much no momentum. They had the momentum early, but they've had the life sucked out of them these last few innings.
Nelson wants to suck out the life more, and he gets him on the high heat, 87 off the inner third of the plate, and Ruiz is downswing. Another 1-2-3 inning for Nelson. Rivets still up 6-4 as we head back to the top of the 6 on the Rivets Baseball Network. a tumultuous fifth inning from the Rivets where they scored 5 runs. They're up 6-4. Joe Rossetti back up at the plate, but we have a new pitcher in Matt Taylor. He's a sit-sit right-handed pitcher. He comes from Kingsport, Tennessee. Larry, tell us more about him.
The USF product has 1 appearance so far for the Chucks this season. He went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, walked 6, and struck out 3. So a bit of control issues for Taylor in his only appearance. He pitched for Howard College in the 2020 spring season, made 3 appearances, pitched 3 innings, struck out 7, walked 5. So he's struggled with a bit of command, but he does have strikeout stuff if he can keep his control.
The big righty standing at sit-sit is a bit effectively wild. He'll be facing the 8-9-1 hitters for the Rivets. Joe Rossetti due up first. 2 hit by pitches on the day for him. Came around and scored back in the 5th. And as we mentioned, started that whole rally to help put the Rivets up 6-4 back in the 5th. They still are holding on to that lead. Here comes the first pitch from Taylor. Fastball hits the outside corner at 90. First time we're seeing a pitcher break the 90 barrier today.
No surprise from the big fella.
0-1. Comes back to the fastball again at 90, 1-1. He's pitching from the stretch. And also not surprised, especially since he comes from University of South Florida. Florida always bringing in good baseball talent. The 1-1. And chopped over to second. Austin boots it, recovers, fires to first, and gets out Rossetti by half a step. 1 away. I don't know what it is about that first base line, but hitters are stumbling all over the place. Baruch we saw fell face first down the line. Now we saw Rossetti too. He looks to be okay though. So with 1 away, in steps Dom Hughes, who has scored 2 runs today, and also an RBI triple back in the 5th. Right on left matchup, Hughes the lefty. Fastball misses low, 1-0. If you're just tuning in, it's 1 out, top of the 6th in a 6-4 ball game. Rivets are ahead over the Woodchucks. Hughes heading from K-State. 1-0, and a big swing and miss there. That one reached 91 that time, 1-1.
Hughes standing at just 5'9", but he can pack a punch with his swing like we saw earlier as he ripped the triple down the right field line. He gives his all on every swing.
Here comes the 1-2. Check that now, it's 2-2, my bad. And he's an extra base hit machine. 8 hits on the season, 2 of them doubles, and we also saw the triple earlier in the game. Long hold from Taylor. Here comes the 2-2. And Hughes has gone fishing. Whiffs up. Let's see. That will actually be a foul tip. Bit of a late call from home plate umpire Eric Martinez. So Hughes gets a second life. We'll step back in there. Talk about a hard curveball. Well, that's at 84. Pretty much a major league speed for a curveball.
You know, it's tough enough when you've got a lot of break on it, but when you bring the velocity into the equation, it makes it even tougher to hit.
Let's see, he goes with here, the 1-2, and goes with a fastball that time around, dials it up to 92 on the outside black, and Hughes is down looking. That's the first strikeout for Taylor, now 2 away.
Well, it looks like Taylor has his control today. We mentioned that he can struggle with his command, but when he's got that fastball hitting the zone, when he can control the curveball, he can be dominant, and he displayed that, and that AB with Hughes really reached back on that fastball.
He's been attacking the strike zone so far. Here comes the first pitch to Grace. Curveball dumps in there. Grace has been on base all 3 times today. 2 singles, a walk. We have 2 outs in a 6-4 ball game. He wants to help extend the Rivets' lead here. Now the pitch from Taylor. Fastball misses low, 1-1. Grace has been pretty efficient from the leadoff role today. Actually, a lot of these Kentucky players have been efficient. We saw fellow Kentuckyman Chase Estep yesterday. As here comes the fastball. That one missed low. Now 2-1 on Grace. Estep had 2 RBIs in yesterday's contest, and a lot of talent from these Kentucky players.
They play in the SEC, very competitive conference. You could argue that's the best baseball conference in the country.
Here comes the 2-1. Fastball clips the inside corner. 2-2.
Wildcats have a very good roster down there. John Rhodes, another Northwoods leaguer that we saw, was the co-freshman of the year. Plays for Fond du Lac, joining these Rockford Rivets.
Taylor looks for the strikeout. He won't get it. It's a ground ball to Banjoff. Fires to first in time, and just like that, Taylor has an easy 1-2-3 inning. Rivets still up 6-4. As we'll be heading to the bottom of the 6th on the Rivets Baseball Network. The Rivets hitting and pitching continue to dominate. We're here in a 6-4 ball game. In the bottom half, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up against Jordan Nelson back out there for his 3rd inning of work. It seems like time and time again, manager Josh Keim has plenty of resources out at the bullpen. Doesn't matter who you throw out there, they're going to put up some goose eggs.
Jordan Nelson continuing that here.
And here comes the first pitch. High pop-up, foul territory. And that one will hit the concourse. Right into a fan's hand. Nice bounce over to him. Makes him and his family happy. But it'll be an 0-1 count. Denny on the day has struck out and ground to short, but he's also has a stolen base, reached on that strikeout, and later came around to score in the first. He'll step back in there now on a 1-0 count, or 0-1 count, excuse me. Here comes the pitch. And fastball misses outside, 1-1. Nelson features a fastball changeup curveball combo. Here comes the 2-1. Goes to the fastball that time around. Really effective so far today against a high heat. That's how he's gotten his couple of strikeouts today. Looking for his 3rd here. Denny stepping back in. Wheels and deals. Fastball hit a spot, but that one missed outside. Full count. Denny comes from Oral Roberts University. Payoff pitch. And tap foul. Still 2-2. Denny on the young season has 14 strikeouts. So definitely a powerful hitter. Big swing and miss. And that one's missed upstairs, now a full count.
Denny's a bit of an all-or-nothing guy, hitting .286 but slugging .571, leads the team with 2 home runs.
Here comes the payoff. And that ball roped into right field, but right there is Cam McDonald. It was a hard hit, but with the wind blowing in, didn't go all too far for out number 1.
First fly ball out there to Cam in right field today. It's been a slow one for him, but an easy play for the first out of the inning. Credit to Jordan Nelson there with a full count. Not afraid to go right back inside the zone to a power hitter like Denny. Worked with the off speed and induced more weak contact.
Here comes the first pitch to Baker, and he fouls it off towards the dugout. 0-1. Even though Nelson isn't the biggest of strikeout pitchers, Larry, as he mentioned, he pitches to contact, and he's certainly done that a lot today. Here comes the 0-1, and curveball just misses outside. Didn't miss by all too much. Martinez so far behind the plate. The home plate umpire has a big strike zone the day. Here comes the 1-1. Big swing and miss from Cale Baker. Now here's the 1-2.
Nelson does have the strikeout stuff. Don't make any mistakes about it, but he doesn't need to strike you out to retire batters. His good breaking stuff induces weak contact by trade.
A 1-2, and laced hard, but out of play. Still 1-2. Baker, another one of those all-or-nothing hitters. He has just 1 hit on the season. Entering tonight's game, he's batting .087. Big strikeout hitter, too. 15 on the year. Now he finds himself in a 2-strike count. 1-2 more specifically. Here comes the pitch from Nelson. Fastball missed upstairs.
Nelson really looks to be getting in a rhythm out there, Adam. Just seeing the way he receives the ball back from Hampy. He's hopping around out there, skipping around the mound, gets his sign quick, and he's working quick.
Now here comes a 2-2 and a big swing and miss from Baker as Nelson goes back with a fastball. 3rd strikeout on the day, 3rd strikeout with a fastball. And you're right, Larry, he's settling into a groove. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back out there for a 4th inning in the 7th.
Last season, Josh Keim had Jordan Nelson pitch 8 innings in relief in a game. He came on for a Rockford starter who barely made it out of the 1st, and he set down.
Continues his dominance with a strike to Leighton Banjoff, 0-1.
He pitched 8 scoreless innings in relief. Went the distance, but Rockford lost.
Now comes the 0-1. Ball laced into left field. That will find ground. Banjoff making a hard left turn, but he'll have to stop at first. So Nelson's hitless streak is blown up, but he's still finding his groove. And now with 2 outs, there's a runner on board for the Woodchucks. Tying run at the plate in Adam Frank.
After retiring the first 8 he faced, Nelson was bound to give up a hit eventually. Left that one a little bit too far over the plate for Banjoff, who just fought it off and dropped it in.
First pitch to Frank, a curveball, 0-1. Seen him really go with a fastball today. He's so far pitched 2 2/3 scoreless in a 6-4 ball game. 2 outs. Now here comes the 0-1. And nice frame by Hampy, gets the call. Fastball dunking in there, now 0-2.
That's how you bounce back from a base hit. 2 straight strikes. Now he can toy with Frank a little bit. Let's see if we see a curveball in the dirt.
Long hold, now the 0-2. Goes back with the fastball. It's fouled off towards the third base side. Might have found itself on street level there, too. That one had a little oomph on it. Frank on the day 0-for-2. Couple of pop-ups for him. High fly ball. Who's going to catch it? It will be the shortstop, Drew Grace. And Jordan Nelson has 3 scoreless innings so far. Let's see if he comes back out for a 4th. But as of now, we'll be right back in the top of the 7th. Rivets up 6-4 in the Rivets Baseball Network. As the Rivets are up 6-4, let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. The Fond du Lac Dot Spiders up 9-0 over the La Crosse Loggers. The Wisconsin Rapids Rafters up 3-0 over the Green Bay Booyah. And now Larry back on the sticks.
Thank you, Adam. Great work as always. Due up for Rockford here in the top half of the 7th, 2-3-4, McDonald, Heinrich, and Seymour. Rivets in search of their 5th consecutive victory. In case you're just joining us, they're up 6-4 on a 5-run top half of the 5th. Matt Taylor, first pitch to Cam McDonald, finds the zone for strike 1. Taylor out for his 2nd inning of work after taking over for Bobby Vath, who barely got the Woodchucks out of that disastrous 5th inning. Taylor working from the stretch, 2nd pitch to McDonald. The 0-1 misses inside, ball 1. McDonald is 2 for 3 today, 2 RBIs, an RBI single and an RBI double. Taylor, the hard-throwing righty, comes set the 1-1. Misses low, fastball at 89 miles per hour. 2-1 on Cam McDonald.
McDonald has to be up there in terms of RBIs for the Rivets, probably right behind Higgins now with 7, including today's game.
2-1, swung on, fouled back, strike 2. McDonald's average, not great entering this one, but he can come and get you that big hit when you need it. As Adam mentioned, 7 RBIs now. He's come up in many big spots for Rockford this year. Vath set for the 2-2. Here it is. Goes off speed and misses high. And it's full on the 6'5 right-handed hitter from the University of Illinois.
These fighting Illini are so amazing at the plate. We have McDonald here. We have Camilla, who had a 3-for-5 game in yesterday's contest, too.
Payoff to McDonald. Misses inside at the letters. Gets all the way to the backstop, and it's ball 4. A leadoff walk to start the Rockford 7th inning.
Once again, getting on base 3 out of 4 times today. So helping himself out in nearly every single offensive category.
Heinrich walked and scored back in the 5th inning. Otherwise 0 for 2. Rivets up 6-4, top of the 7th. Taylor delivers the first pitch. Big hack and a miss from Heinrich for strike 1. McDonald took a big secondary lead and retreated back to first as Mirabal gave him a stare down to first base. Now he's back out there with a lead. Taylor sets at the belt. Here's the 1-0. 0-1. Misses low, and it's now 1-1.
Heinrich can certainly use that big hat to his advantage. Arguably hit the longest home run for the Rivets this season. A bullet over the center field wall a couple days ago against the Rapids Rafters.
Matt Taylor checks off and throws over to check on McDonald. And McDonald is back safely. Gets his uniform a little dirty. Now here's the 1-1 to Heinrich. Bender misses inside. McDonald again retreats back to first base. Gets another stare-down treatment from Mirabal. 2-1 on the third baseman from South Carolina. Jeff Heinrich awaits the 2-1. Here it is. Fastball paints the outer half. Called strike 2. Heinrich rocking the stirrups with the Rivets Road Grays today, along with black cleats with maroon shoelaces at Gamecock red. Here's the 2-2 to him. Check swing. He did not go around on a fastball in on the hands at 91. If he swung any further, that might have hit him or at least stung a little bit, and now it's full. Runner on first, top half of the 7th. Rivets up 6-4. Taylor takes a deep breath, and he's ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is. Check swing, foul ball. We'll do it again.
You mentioned that Taylor can throw in the low 90s. Always difficult for a hitter to try to catch up to that when it's on the inside part of the plate. But so far, Heinrich just fouled that one off and not bailing on one on the corner.
Putting up a battle. Here's another 3-2. In on the hands again, and again fouled off, that time out of the stadium. Onto the street. Athletic Park here in Wausau, located in a neighborhood. It is a beautiful ballpark. Grandstands surrounding the lower bowl and extra seating areas in other parts of the ballpark. Here's another 3-2 to Heinrich, another check swing foul ball. That one bounced off of the catcher Mirabal. He appears to be all right. And the at-bat continues. We'll have another 3-2.
Looks like Taylor's been throwing that fastball a lot during this at-bat. Around 4 or 5 times now. Perhaps he'll go with something soft and away.
McDonald on first base after a leadoff walk. Matt Taylor comes set. Here's the 3-2, swung on and missed. McDonald goes, the throw down, not in time. Jeff Heinrich strikes out. Cam McDonald swipes second base, and there's one down with a runner in scoring position for Bobby Seymour.
Good job by Josh Keim to send Cam McDonald. Now has his team leading 4 stolen base of the season.
And now there will be a mound visit from Woodchucks manager Ronnie Richardson, and he will take the ball from Matt Taylor, but I'm not sure if they will make a pitching change quite yet, and they will. Richardson kind of delayed to officially make the signal, but now a new pitcher comes in from the Woodchucks bullpen. We'll have the details on the new arm right after this. The Rivets threatening. Cam McDonald on second base with one out here in the top half of the 7th. Screws up 6-4 on the Rivets Radio Network. Back at Athletic Park, Rivets up 6-4 and threatening for insurance in the top half of the 7th. So Wisconsin manager Ronnie Richardson goes back to the bullpen and calls upon the right-hander from the University of South Alabama, Stephen Lacey.
The Mississippi native is a right-handed pitcher that stands at 6'3", 215 pounds. He last pitched on July 6th against the Rivets, threw just a third of an inning and gave up 2 walks on the season. An inning and a third, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So a bit of a similar deal to Taylor. Effectively wild, gets the walks and strikeouts in.
He will face Bobby Seymour after he finishes warming up. Seymour today 0 for 2 with a walk. Seymour has struggled with the bat a little bit so far this year, but he is a well-known name across baseball. Led the NCAA in RBIs in 2019 with 93 for Wake Forest. Was named the ACC Player of the Year, among other accolades. So it's only a matter of time before he heats up. You heard Josh Keim talk about him in the pregame interview. He's in the cage every day working. He's taking his hacks. He'll get there. I think it's only a matter of time. He's made contact more frequently as of late. He steps in. He's ready for the first pitch from Lacey, working from the stretch with McDonald on second. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses low, and it's 1-0.
Rivets are actually pretty lucky to have him on the team. He might have gone the second round this year if he did not decide to opt out and tell scouts that he was going to wait till 2021.
1-0 to him. Fastball tails away, and it's 2-0. Of course, Seymour, as you mentioned, had a very high draft stock, but didn't want to take a discount. We'll head back to Wake Forest for his senior year. Hitters count on him here. Lacey delivers the 2-0. Big hack and a miss on an 88 miles per hour fastball, and it's 2-1.
He was looking to hit that one over the right field porch, only 316 down the line, and that was certainly the 2-0 hack you want to see from him.
Lacey takes a deep breath, comes set at the belt. Here's the 2-1. Again, misses outside. That's been his miss so far. That time with a changeup at 82, and it's 3-1. One down in the Rockford 7th. Cam McDonald on second base. Rivets up 6-4. 3-1, called strike on the inner half. And Seymour jumped out of the way of that pitch. That was inside. But home plate umpire Eric Martinez calls it a strike. Now it's full.
He was already on his way to first base before that one was called against him.
The payoff to Seymour, not before McDonald gets trapped between second and third, and now he is tagged out by the third baseman Leighton Banjoff, the third baseman Denny. That was an awkward play there. McDonald jumped out of the way of Denny, who gave chase from third base. McDonald thought he averted the tag, but he was out of the baseline and called out. So he's the second out of the inning. A base running mistake empties the bases. Josh Keim likely not happy about that. Now it's 3-2 with 2 outs to Seymour. Lacey delivers, and it's ball 4. Second walk of the day for Seymour brings up Ryan Hampy.
Although the Rivets took themselves out of a runner of scoring position, at least Seymour continues to rack up the on-base percentage. Second walk of the day, as you mentioned, and even though there's a big discrepancy between his batting average and OBP, 207 batting average, 333 OBP, he still is seeing the ball very well at the plate.
In steps the second-year Northwoods leaguer Hampy. First pitch to him. Fastball called strike. Hampy played for the Northwoods League champion Traverse City Pittsbitters last year, a team that got very hot in the second half, broke the league record for winning streak. Here's the 0-1. Curveball called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Hampy. That team could not lose in the second half, and Josh Rebant and company cruised to a championship. Lacey comes set and delivers the 0-2, fouled off by Hampy. We'll do it again.
How many games did they win in a row? It was at least 20, right?
At least 20. I don't recall. We'll have our research department get on it. Bobby Seymour on first base, 2 down in the Rockford 7th. They're up 6-4. Looking for their 5th consecutive victory. 0-2 to Hampy, ducks out of the way of a curveball that got away from Lacey. Ball 1. Hampy, transferred from UIC to John A. Logan, will head to Illinois in the fall. 1-2, he ducks out of the way of another curveball, an identical miss from Lacey. And Traverse City won 18 games in a row last year. Shout out to the Woodchucks press box for coming up with that one, so it was not 20. 2-2, well outside. And now it's full on Hampy after he was behind 0-2 to start the AB.
I think missing back-to-back pitches with that curveball threw off Lacey a little bit. And now his fastball missing outside, too. Good position for Hampy to get a good hit.
Here's the payoff. Seymour takes off, and it's fouled straight back to the net. The big fella has to trot back to first base.
Hampy didn't miss that one by much, right on top of it. And whenever you see a hitter just fouling right back, you know they had to put a good swing on it.
Hampy has a single today, otherwise a walk and a strikeout. Another 3-2. That one lined to center field. Going back is Maya. He's got room in front of the track, and he makes the catch to end the Rockford 7th inning. So Stephen Lacey works around 2 walks, and the Rivets are held at 6 runs. They're on top by 2. Stretch time in Wausau. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 7th from Wausau. Rivets up 6-4. Josh Keim takes out Jordan Nelson in favor of Josh Lanham, the righty from Lenore-Rhine.
Lanham is all muscle on the mound, standing at 6'1", 230 pounds. He's a rising sophomore. He's been an excellent piece out of the bullpen for the Rivets this season. So far, just allowed 1 unearned run in 5 1/3 innings pitched against Spiders on the 8th through 2 1/3 scoreless.
He'll face 7, 8, 9, the lower third of the Woodchucks order, starting with Daniel Baruch. Lanham working from the stretch from the get-go. First pitch, fastball misses inside with tailing action. For ball 1, Rivets looking for their 5th consecutive victory. Their 8th victory in their last 9. They've won 7 of 8. Next pitch to Baruch is outside, ball 2. Lanham can bring it. Can touch 90s on a good day. Right now he's sitting upper 80s. Working quickly, comes set at the hat, delivers the fastball, just fouled off by Baruch. 2-1. Baruch, the freshman from Boston College, today's DH for the Chucks. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Just 1 for 13 entering today's ball game with 8 strikeouts. 2-1 to him. Lanham goes off speed and draws a swing and a miss. And it's 2-2. Nasty curveball there from Lanham.
Keim is hoping that his lights out stuff can go at least 2 innings today and try to give it over to a closer. So far, the Rivets have a closer by committee. Perhaps they'll go with Jacob Lofts today.
2-2 from Lanham, laced into left field. In comes Higgins, and it's going to drop in front of him. Leadoff single for Daniel Baruch, his 2nd hit of the year. And the Woodchucks' first base runner, first batter in the 7th is aboard.
Higgins is playing pretty deep out there in left field, and that one was a blooper and just dunked in as the Woodchucks try to get something going. The game-tying runner at the plate, a mirror ball.
Rivets, of course, up by 2, 6-4. Mirror ball, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in the 2nd. First pitch to him, fastball, paints the outer half. For strike 1. Rivets up in this one thanks to 1 run in the 3rd, 5 runs in the 5th. Runner goes with a pitch, strike in there, and no throw from Hampy. Baruch swipes second. Runner in scoring position with no outs for Mirabal now, and it's 0-2 on him.
Baruch had a great read, and to his credit, he wanted the curveball, a very tough pitch to try to gun out a runner.
Lanham comes set, staring out Baruch. Now turns his attention back, and time is called. I'm not sure what the call is. Time was called. I'm not sure by who. Few people in the press box thought it was a balk. Lanham didn't move all that much. Just looked at Baruch. Now he comes set, and we'll try the 0-2 again. Kicks and delivers, swung on and missed, strike three. First out of the inning, first strikeout of the day for Josh Lanham, brings up the 9-hitter Miles Austin.
He reared back for that one. Fastest pitch of the day for him in 89. Got him in the high cheese too. First strikeout of the day for Lanham.
Lanham definitely has that strikeout stuff. Miles Austin steps in, 1 for 2 with a home run to left field in the second inning, a 2-run shot that put the Woodchucks up 4-0. First pitch to him, he squares to bunt, pulls back. Fastball inside, ball one. Austin does have that pop, was a draft pick of the Brewers a year ago. Did not sign, headed to Alabama where he struggled a bit in his freshman year. Has turned it around a little bit today. Runner goes, pitch low and away, throw down to third, not in time. Daniel Baruch steals second, now steals third. And it's 2-0 on Austin as that pitch was a ball. And a fly ball could score Baruch from third base with one out here in the Woodchucks' seventh.
Baruch had a great secondary. No one was covering him at second base. He was already a third down the line before the pitch was thrown, and back-to-back stolen bases, now just 90 feet away.
2-0, ground ball to short. Drew Grace picks it up on a hop, throws on to first in time. Baruch comes home to score, and now it's a 6-5 ball game. That's Rockford's first bullpen run allowed in, what is that, Adam? 18 innings?
Sounds about right.
18, and yeah, about 18 innings. So a remarkable streak comes to a close as Austin picks up the RBI ground out. 2 down now for the top of the order, Adrian Maya, excuse me. It's 0 for 3 today. First pitch to him. Check swing. He did go on the fastball. It's 0-1.
Pretty efficient day for Miles Austin, the hitter before. 3 RBIs on the day for him.
0-1. Driven out to left field. It's in the gap. Matt Higgins giving chase, and it one-hops the wall. Dom Hughes picks it up, throws it into the cutoff man, and Adrian Maya cruises into second with a 2-out double. The tying run is now on second base.
The Woodchucks are really teeing off Josh Lanham, and he's usually so dominant, so able to work off the edges, blow hitters by with his hard fastball. And so, to the Woodchucks' credit, they're really piecing some good hits together. First that base hit, and later came around the Miles Austin RBI, and then a double by Maya too. And just like that, the game-tying run on second base, as we'll see a mound visit from pitching coach Adam Carey.
A socially distanced mound visit. Carey standing on the edge of the mound with the rest of the Rockford infield. Looking down the right field line, there is action in the Rockford bullpen. It's Jacob Lotz, the side armor from Lewis. Picked up a save earlier this week in Fond du Lac in the second game of a doubleheader. But this is Josh Lanham's inning to get out of for now. 2 outs. Adrian Maya on second base. 1 run already in on an RBI ground out from Miles Austin that scored Baruch. 6-5 Rivets. Bottom of the 7th. Lanham comes set. Ready for the first pitch to Pablo Ruiz. Here it is. Misses outside, ball 1. Ruiz has 2 singles today, along with a strikeout. 1 for 4 yesterday, entered this ball game hitting .316. The UCF Knight awaits the 1-0. It's again outside, 2-0.
Lanham needs to re-find the straight zone. Always tough when you give up a big hit. He needs to settle down and give his team the chance to preserve the lead.
Lanham with a closed stretch stance, kicks and delivers. Misses low, it's ball 3 with a fastball. Missed at 87 miles per hour there. Could be a bad spot here.
If they go ahead and run in the plate and Pablo Ruiz, you got to think he has the green light right here.
Here's the 3-0. He does have the green light, and it's skied on the infield. Corinci calls everybody off and makes the catch to end the inning. So Lanham leaves Adrian Maya stranded on second base, but allows Daniel Baruch to come home to score, and it's a one-run ball game headed to the top half of the 8th. Rivets 6, Chucks 5 on the Rivets Radio Network. Six-5 ball game in Wausau, top half of the 8th coming up for Rockford. It'll be Matt Higgins, Daniel Corinci, and Joe Rossetti due up to face Stephen Lacey, who's back out there for another inning of relief work. Higgins, the 6th hitter today. First pitch to him. Fastball just misses outside. 1-0 on the junior from Bellarmine. Today's left fielder. 1-0 to him. Misses inside, nearly grazed just above his knees. Higgins reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Picked up an RBI. 0 for 2 otherwise. 2-0. Fouled off by Higgins. Strike 1. Higgins sporting a ankle guard that is hot pink on his front foot in the left-handed batter's box.
That's the second pink artifact we've seen today, as Taylor sported a pink glove too.
2-1 to Higgins. It's ball 3. Breaker missed low. Hitters count on Higgins. Higgins leads this Rockford team in homers with 2. 3-1 to him. Ripped right down to first base at Cale Baker, who makes the catch. A hard hit first out in the Rockford 8th.
That was a frozen rope from Higgins, eyeing down the right field line and trying to get a double there, but right in the way of that was Baker.
Brings up Daniel Corinci. Corinci has not reached today. Ended the second inning with a fielder's choice as a strikeout and a fly out. Takes ball 1 from Stephen Lacey. Corinci does get on base for Josh Kime, but strikes out a lot. Has 9 this season as he takes a fastball inside. It's ball 2. Corinci, the sophomore from Kansas State, transferred into K-State from Alabama. Holds his hands high above his head with the bat, 2-0. Unloaded into center field. Adrian Maya comes over into left and makes the catch. For out number 2 of the 8th inning. That one looked good off the bat, but got knocked down by the wind a little bit. Didn't have enough carry. That brings up Joe Rossetti with 2 down.
Not too surprised that Corinthian loaded the hitter's count. He does this thing in batting practice where he has one pitch, tries to go hit as hard as he can, and looks like he was using that in the last at bat.
First pitch to Joe Rossetti. Hits him. That is the 3rd hit by pitch on Joe Rossetti of the day. He got hit in the 3rd, again in the 5th, and now in the 8th. That's got to hurt all around the same spot, around the lower legs. Rossetti turned away from it, and that time he didn't sprint down to first base like he did for the prior 2. So Rockford has a 2-out base runner.
That one probably stung a bit more, probably has a couple black and blue bruises to sport.
First pitch to Dom Hughes, swung on and missed on a fastball. Lacey was cruising through the Rockford 8th. It's the first base runner of the inning. Rockford up 6-5 in Wausau. Lacey comes set, delivers the 0-1. Hughes lines it into right field. That one's trouble, and it's going to drop. One hops the wall. Rossetti rounds second. He's going to come into third. The throw goes into second. Hughes slides in safely with a double. Joe Rossetti moves up to third base. There's runners on second and third for Drew Grace.
Although the Rivets kind of lulled for a little bit during the 6th and 7th inning, they're continuing to put on the pressure as they're up 6-5. They need all the insurance runs they can as this Woodchucks lineup unrelenting, and they can still come back pretty easily. And Hughes continues extra base parade. 4 of his 9 hits now for extra bases.
Brings up the leadoff man, Grace. Has 2 hits today, including an RBI in the 5th. First pitch to him. Fastball high for ball 1. You're right, Adam. This is a big spot for the Rockford offense. The bullpen would be a lot more comfortable with at least 1 run more of insurance. A base hit could score 2. The 1-0 to Grace. Off speed, misses low and away. Ball 2. Grace, the freshman from Kentucky, has 5 RBIs this season. The Pennsylvania native awaits the 2-0 from Lacey. Here it is. Fastball catches the outer half for strike 1. Lacey in his 2nd inning of relief work. Comes set at the belt. Righty on righty. 2-1. Slap the other way. Well hit. Going back is Pablo Ruiz. He's at the track. He's at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch to end the inning. Pablo Ruiz could have saved 2 runs right there to end the threat. So the score remains 6-5, headed to the bottom of the 8th in Wausau. Stay with us on the Rivets Radio Network. Rivets hanging on to a 1-run lead. Josh Keim calls on the lefty side armor, Jacob Lotz.
Lotz is a rising senior from Lewis University, and he's appeared in 3 games for the Rivets this season. The last came against Dot Spiders, where he pitched a scoreless inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 2. On the season, he has 7 strikeouts, no earned runs in 5 innings, and has also walked 4.
He'll face the heart of the Woodchucks order, 3-4-5, Denny, Baker, and Banjoff. Caleb Denny, the lone lefty in this Woodchucks order today. He's 0 for 3 thus far, but reached on a strikeout and scored in the first inning. First pitch to him. Fastball sweeps away, low in the dirt. Ball 1. Denny definitely a power threat. Redshirt freshman from Oral Roberts. Has 2 homers this year. Fouls the second pitch back, and it's 1-1.
I would say that Lotz has the advantage, as he is a side armor from the left-hand side, which makes it all the more difficult in a left-on-left matchup.
1-1 finds the outer corner. 1-2 on Denny now. Denny, lots of talent for Boston College. Was a nice recruiting pickup. Was the 8th ranked player out of Oklahoma, as he check swings and fouls that one off. We'll do the 1-2 again.
The Woodchucks need to get a base runner on, trailing by 1.
1-2, swung on and missed on a high fastball. Lotz goes upstairs and retires Denny for the first out of the 8th inning. Brings up Cale Baker.
We mentioned how hard it is for a left-handed hitter to pick off the lefty side armor. Goes back with a high heat, and Denny was unable to do anything about it. Now has 15 strikeouts on the year.
Brings up Baker, who has struck out 3 times today. The first pitch to him, a sweeping breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. Lotz working from the left side of the rubber. Comes set at the letters and delivers the sidearm. That's slapped the other way by Baker. That's going to drop fair for extra bases. It rolls all the way to the wall. Cam McDonald picks it up and throws it in. Baker slides in safely with a double. The tying run is on second base here in the 8th for Leighton Banjoff.
The Woodchucks have a lot of powerful right-handed hitters. You're facing a lefty side armor. You get to see the ball just that much longer. And to Baker's benefit, he just went the other way on that one as it ricocheted off the wall, and just like that, the Woodchucks have a runner in scoring position, try to tie up this ball game.
Pinch runner now for Cale Baker, who doesn't have a ton of speed. It's Brandon Seltzer, the senior from Palm Beach Atlantic. Has a little more speed, usually the leadoff batter for Wisconsin, but received the day off. Of course, he's a big run now on second base, so Ronnie Richardson wants speed. So he goes with the outfielder, Seltzer. 6-5 Rockford, bottom half of the 8th in Wausau. Rivets looking for their 5th consecutive victory. Wisconsin looking to avoid a 3rd straight loss. The first pitch to Banjoff, grounded fair to Heinrich. He throws on to first, and he got Banjoff. The throw was offline. Seymour had to come off the bag and tag Banjoff. It is a foul ball after all. So after all that, it's 0-1 on Banjoff.
A lot of confusion out there as the play was still going on, and just it looked like it was a fair ball from up here.
Lots of excitement on that. Strike 1 on the freshman from Nebraska. Banjoff reached on an error in the first that drove in 2 runs. Grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd. Singled in the 6th. Another single could tie the game. Brandon Seltzer, the tying run on second base. Jacob Lotz comes set and delivers the 0-1. It's skied high into the right side. Bobby Seymour going back. He gives way to Carinci, who makes the catch. Seltzer tags up but does not go to third base as Carinci throws it back into the infield. And now there's 2 down. A big second out for Jake Lotz.
Carinci in the outfield making that play. Seltzer thought about going for third. As we mentioned, he does have good speed. 4 stolen bases and 5 chances this season. But he thought better of it. Too crucial that he remains on base. And in steps Adam Frank to try to drive him in.
Frank, the soon-to-be Miami Hurricane, will transfer there from Hillsborough Community College. Right-handed batter, time called. Lotz takes a stroll around the mound, now steps on, gets his sign from Ryan Hampy, comes set. Here's the first pitch to Frank. It's in the dirt, blocked by Hampy, keeping Seltzer at second. Ball 1.
Really nice block from Hampy. If that ball got more by him, Seltzer could have taken off for third. So doing a good job not letting it get 90 feet away.
Frank, a returner for the Woodchucks, was an all-star for them last year. He's ready for the 1-0 from Lotz. It misses low. Ball 2. The wind is still blowing in here at Athletic Park from the right field side to the left field side. Otherwise a hitter's park. Shallow fences but high. 2-0, finds the zone. It's a sweeping slider called strike. And it's 2-1.
Lots of working behind there. That slider was absolutely filthy from the left side. Really dove across the plate, clipping the inside corner. Might go back with it.
We'll see if we see it again. Here's the 2-1. It is a slider, chopped to short. Drew Grace gobbles it up, can't handle it, picks it up, throws on to first, and he doesn't get him. Adam Frank is safe at first base on an error by Drew Grace. Brandon Seltzer, the tying run in this one, moves up to third base. That's a costly error on the Rivets. They're up just 1 here in the bottom half of the 8th, and the inning is extended for Daniel Baruch.
Always difficult for the pitcher when the defense doesn't have your back, and it's all the more crucial when you're just up by 1, and now the runner and Seltzer just 90 feet away. Grace not happy of that one as he trots around looking down at shortstop. He'll have to have a short memory.
That was a bang-bang play at first base. Frank beat it out by a step. Baruch steps in. First pitch to him. It was a balk. The pitch does not count. Brandon Seltzer comes home from third base, and it's a tie game. A costly error by Drew Grace extends the inning, and before the first pitch is delivered to Baruch, Jacob Lotz balks. And this game is tied at 6 in the bottom half of the 8th. Adam Carey comes out for a visit after that one.
You don't see balks all too often, and we've seen 2 of them today, and that came at a most crucial and costly time. Talk about bad luck for the Rivets. First an error from the otherwise defensive whiz in Drew Grace, and then a balk from Lotz, which hardly ever happens to any pitcher.
That's the second balk called on the Rivets today, if I'm not mistaken. Cam Bowman had one called on him, today's starter. We're tied at 6 now. 1 run across for the Woodchucks in the bottom half of the 8th. The go-ahead run is on second and Adam Frank. The first pitch to Baruch. It's in the dirt. Stopped by Hampy. Ball 1.
Gotta hope that, I know that was just ball 1, but you gotta hope that Lotz can re-find the strike, so I'm probably not happy with that call. Needs to get that out of his head. Still preserve this tie game.
Now there's going to be some action in the Rivets bullpen. No throwing yet, but some guys headed out there. 1-0 to Baruch. Skied into right field. Going back is McDonald. It's playable. He's got room, and he makes the catch. to end the inning. But not before. An error by Drew Grace at shortstop extends the inning, and Brandon Seltzer scores to tie the game on a balk by Jake Lotz. We're tied at 6. Headed to the 9th. Buckle your seatbelts. 9th inning coming up on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the 9th in Wausau. Brand new ball game, tied at 6 after the Woodchucks push across a run in the bottom half of the 8th. Some defensive changes before the inning gets started. The pinch runner, Brandon Seltzer, comes in and stays in left. Adam Frank, the left fielder, moves to third base. And Caleb Denny moves from third to first. Stephen Lacey, not pulled though. The pitcher back out there for his 3rd inning of work. He'll face 2, 3, 4 in the Rockford order, starting with Cam McDonald. The first pitch to him, taken for strike 1. The Rivets bullpen was lights out for the last 18 innings until the 7th inning when Josh Lanham allowed a run to score. Here's the 0-1 to McDonald, nearly hits him as he jumps out of the way. 1-1. Lanham allowed 1 in the 7th, and Jacob Lotz balked home a run in the bottom half of the 8th. Now we're tied. 1-1 to Cam McDonald. Swung on and fouled back. He took a big hack, ended up out of balance, fell forward, and it's 1-2. McDonald has 2 big hits today, an RBI single in the 3rd and an RBI double in the 5th. He came around to score in a 5-run 5th inning. Lacey comes set. Here's the 1-2. Slap the other way, but it will tail foul. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Lacey does throw hard. That one reached at 87 miles per hour, so not a bad idea for McDonald to try to go the other way. He needs to find a way on right now and use his good speed.
Lacey steps off before another 1-2. He left runners stranded on 2nd and 3rd to end the Rockford 8th. A 1-2. Bounces in there, and it's ball 2. 2-2 on the Rockford right fielder. Had a sophomore slump at Illinois this spring. He's bounced back for Josh Keim and the Screws. The 2-2. Slapped again the other way, this time out of the stadium. Another foul ball as the 6'5" right-handed batter continues to battle.
Pretty much everywhere in this Rivets lineup, you see grit and them fouling off pitch after pitch. And time again, we've seen that when it matters the most, they'll send the at-bat and try to find a way on.
Another 2-2. Line drive the other way. That one drops fair. Rolls into the Rockford bullpen. Cam McDonald rounds first and stops. After a huge round, the throw back to first. He is called out. He's called out. I don't know how. Adam Cohen, that's got to be a bad call. Josh Keim comes sprinting in, and he is in the umpire's face. Michael Carr made the call. McDonald took a big round around first base, dove back, was on the bag, and got tagged out when he was on the bag. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's the first out of the ninth inning. That one looked like trouble. McDonald took a little bit too big of a round, and now he's the first out of the inning. A costly call for the Rivets as this game's tied at 6 in the ninth. Josh Keim is furious. Now he's back in the third base coach's box. It's one out for Jeff Heinrich. First pitch to him. Bounces in there for ball one.
That was a terrible call from the first base umpire, Nicholas Webb, and I am honestly very surprised that Keim kept his cool just enough to not be thrown out this ball game.
1-0 to Heinrich. In there for a called strike. Fastball, a changeup on the outer half. Heinrich is hitless today after going 5 for his last 9 entering this one, the 1-1. Taken upstairs. He did walk and score in the 5th. Struck out in the 7th. He's ready for the 2-1. Here it is from Lacey, and it misses low. Hitters count 3-1 now on the South Carolina Gamecock.
Game tied at 6 apiece. Heinrich having a series of extra base hits. Probably gets a green light here.
3-1. Grounded to short. Banjoff makes the play, throws on to first for the second out of the inning. Get Heinrich by a number of steps. And it's up to Bobby Seymour with 2 down in the Rockford ninth. This ball game still tied at 6th. If there's anybody who could tie this, or untie this game, I should say, it's Bobby Seymour.
You got to imagine all the Rivets are mad right now, and they only need something to spark them up. Use that anger to their advantage and try to untie themselves with the Woodchucks.
First pitch to Seymour. Taken strike 1. Seymour, the 6'4" left-handed batter out of Wake Forest, working against Stephen Lacey, the righty from USA. 0-1 to Seymour, well upstairs. About at chin level to Seymour. No easy task. It's 1-1.
He's had 17 home runs in his first 3 years at Wake Forest. As Lori mentioned, the Rivets would love to see one right now. Right field Porsche calling his name.
1-1 to him, bounces in there. Nearly bounced up and hit the home plate umpire. In fact, it did catch a piece of Eric Martinez. He'll walk the ball halfway back out to Lacey. It's 2-1. Seymour without a home run this year. Does have 17 in his career for the Demon Deacons through 3 years of play. Lacey comes set for the 2-1. Here it is, well outside. 3-1. Ryan Hempy on deck. We've seen the Rivets rally with 2 outs before. Taking a look at the Woodchucks bullpen, there is action, but this looks to be Lacey's inning to finish. Here's the 3-1 to Seymour, well outside, ball 4. Seymour's 3rd walk of the day, his 3rd consecutive walk, brings up Ryan Hempy with 2 down here in the 9th.
Although Seymour's not the fastest of players, always good to pass the torch and extend the inning. And again, no one better right now than Ryan Hempy, who has been so hot for the Rivets.
That calls for a visit from Chase Randolph, the pitching coach for Wisconsin. Maybe a stalling tactic. There is, of course, serious action now in the Woodchucks bullpen. Down the left field line. It's a short porch, 304. But here at Athletic Park, all the walls are high. Home run could not be robbed here. You would need superhuman hops to rob a homer. Or at least Spider-Man-like, I don't know, climbing skills.
You probably need 2 Bobby Seymours to try to rob a home run. That's how tall this fence is. The wind blowing in might be a little bit tough for Hampy, but hey, he has great power. We'd love to see him get into one.
Chase Randolph back to the dugout. Stephen Lacey steps back on to face Hampy. Righty on righty. Lacey delivers the first pitch. It's low and away for ball one. In case you're just joining us, Cam McDonald started this ninth inning with a single, but was called out after he rounded first too far. Ryan Hampy rips one down the left field line. It's curling foul. Ryan Hampy missed a long home run by milliseconds there. He was just out front. Stephen Lacey got away with one, Adam.
Rivets have been really unlucky this inning. First with the poor call from Nicholas Webb at first base.
1-1 to Hampy, misses low and away, and it's 2-1.
And now with that home run that looked really good off the bat, and then the wind just kept blowing it foul.
Still a hitter's count on him. Lacey comes set at the belt and delivers the 2-1, fouled back to the net. Now it's 2-2.
To his credit, though, Hampy has been all over Lacey this at bat, nearly hitting a home run and fouling that one straight back. Still can get into one here.
Lacey shakes off one sign, comes set with another. Here's a 2-2, grounded to the left side. Adam Frank can't handle it. It rolls into left field, and that will be an error on Adam Frank, who just moved from left field to third base this inning. So now two-out base runners in the Rockford ninth. Brings up Matt Higgins as the inning keeps on going, but of course that call to start the inning that we were talking about looks even larger. Cam McDonald could have been scored by now.
Again, the Rivets need to use that anger to their advantage, and Matt Higgins drove in the go-ahead run way back when in the fifth.
First pitch to Higgins, big swing and a miss. 0-1.
He always seems to come through in the clutch for the Rivets, and they need him now more than ever. Imagine the rally that could spark right now. Bring that back into the bottom of the ninth.
0-1 to Higgins, skied into center. Maya has a beat on it, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Rockford strands two-out base runners. We're still tied at sixth, headed to the bottom of the ninth. Don't go anywhere on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom half of the ninth in Wausau. Game tied at 6 apiece between the Rockford Rivets and the Wisconsin Woodchucks. The Rivets in search of their 5th straight victory. And the Woodchucks looking to break a 2-game losing streak. It's been a good one so far. The Woodchucks have rallied late. A run in each of the last 2 innings has us tied at 6. Isaiah Mirabali, Miles Austin, and Adrian Mella to start the 9th inning for the Woodchucks. First pitch to Mirabal, misses inside, ball 1. Jacob Lotz back out there for inning number 2 of relief work. 1-0. Fastball catches the outside corner. Strike 1. Mirabal 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Scored that run in the 2nd inning. 1-1. Called strike right down the middle. Sweeping slider. Perhaps a curveball at 69 miles per hour.
Although I am a little bit surprised that Lotz is back out there. He was pretty good against Mirabal.
1-2, swung on and missed. Lotz goes off speed upstairs in the zone. Risky. But Lotz strikes out Mirabal, and he's set down with his 3rd strikeout of the day. Lotz is 2nd, and that brings up the 9-hitter, Miles Austin. Austin went deep earlier in the game, a 2-run home run in the 2nd that made it 4-0. First pitch to him, called strike. Outside corner. Austin has 3 RBIs. Also picked one up in the 7th. 0-1. Lotz works well outside, and it's 1-1.
Lotz needs to be careful here. Austin had that 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning.
Lefty from Lewis working quickly, delivers strike 2 on a slider right down the middle. Lotz a reliable pitcher for Josh Keim. Did surrender that run in the bottom half of the 8th. He's ready for the 1-2 to Austin. Swung on and fouled back. He almost got a swing and a miss there. But we'll do it again.
That slider has so much movement, but Austin just able to find a little bit of it. Wonder if Lotz will go back with the off speed.
Here's the 1-2 again. Misses high and away. 2-2 to Austin, the righty, out of Alabama. Lotz stretches out, looks in for his sign, nods, comes set at the letters. Here's the 2-2. Nearly swung on and missed. It is swung on and missed. Dropped by Hampy, and he tags out Miles Austin. 2 outs in the bottom half of the 9th. Game tied at 6th. Now the top of the order comes back up, and Adrian Maya.
Nice job by Hampy to make sure he tagged out Austin. Austin has really good wheels, and would have been a bit awkward to make the throw at first base. But nonetheless, Lotz doing a really good job so far. Back-to-back strikeouts. Trying to throw a crucial scoreless inning against the Woodchucks.
Lotz comes set for the first pitch to Maya. Just misses low with a fastball. 1-0. Maya 1 for 4 with a double in the 7th. Lotz takes a deep breath and throws. 1-0 fouled off, and it's 1-1.
The Woodchucks against Lotz in the 9th inning have taken a lot of weak swings. His fastball swerve combo, his fastball usually runs it around low 80s, and swerve goes into the low 70s, keeping these hitters off balanced.
1-1 from Lotz. Breaking ball finds the zone. 1-2 on Maya. Maya, the redshirt freshman from Hillsborough Community College in Pennsylvania. One of a few players from that school on the Woodchucks. The 1-2 fouled off. We'll have another. Looking down in the Rivets bullpen, nobody throwing, but many standing. 6 players down there standing. Looking at the Woodchucks bullpen, action continues. We will likely have a new pitcher if we go to extras. Maya calls time before another 1-2. 2 outs, bottom half of the 9th. Woodchucks and Rivets tied at 6. Lotz walks around, adjusts his sleeve, puts the glove back on his right hand, stares in for the sign. He's got it. Here's the 1-2 again. Breaking ball just misses the zone. Hampy couldn't handle it. Gets all the way to the backstop, but it doesn't matter with nobody on base, and it's 2-2.
Keeps going with that backdoor breaking ball in a place where he can't get hurt. It looks like Maya has read him it well. Let's see if he goes back with a fastball.
2-2, fouled off again. Adrian Maya, the leadoff batter, putting up a good battle here. That's what you would expect from your leadoff hitter.
Let's try to.
Little chant takes place here. Crowd coming to life at Athletic Park. Lots looking to send us to the 10th inning. Rivets and Woodchucks tied at 6. Lots come set. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball down to third base, and it rolls foul.
That one almost came back fair, had a little English on it. Heinrich was ready to make the throw, has a can of an arm at third base, but to his credit, did go foul.
Lots looking for his third strikeout of the inning, his fourth strikeout of the day. He delivers the 2-2, misses outside, and it's full. You don't want to let Maya get away here. Lots was well ahead, and now it's full. We're ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is. Swung on and missed. It was not a drop third strike, and he got Maya to chase on a devastating slider, and Lots strikes out the side in the Wisconsin 9th. We are headed to the 10th. Rivets 6, Woodchucks 6 on the Rivets Radio Network. Ready for extras from Wausau, tied at 6 apiece. And to start extras, the Woodchucks go with a new pitcher. It's Dethan McGrath.
McGrath on the year for the Woodchucks has thrown 6.2 innings pitched, allowed 9 hits, and 3 earned runs. He last pitched against the La Crosse Loggers, giving up an earned run in 3 innings pitched while striking out 4. He comes from Austin, Texas. He's a 6'5" right-handed pitcher.
So here in the Northwoods League in extra innings, we play with international rules. So a runner starts on second base in every inning of extras. That runner for the Rivets is Matt Higgins. He made the last out of the 9th. So he starts on second base. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Rivets order. Daniel Corinci, Joe Rossetti, and Dom Hughes to try and get him home. Tied at 6, excuse me. Thon McGrath working from the stretch. Stares into Corinci, holding the bat high above his head. First pitch to him, he squares the bunt. It's down the first base line. Caleb Denny tries to tag out Corinci, and he can't hang on to the ball. Matt Higgins comes around third, and he slides in safely at the plate. On the first pitch of extras, the Rivets pull ahead. It's 7-6. Matt Higgins comes home to score from second on a bunt. Safe at first is Daniel Corinci, as Caleb Denny, the first baseman, couldn't hang on as he tried to tag him out.
Daniel Corinci has always come through with the sacrifice bunt and the sacrifice fly. Perfect bunt down the line to send Higgins over to third. We got a little lucky there too, as Baker couldn't handle it.
First pitch to Joe Rossetti. Called strike on the outer half on the left-handed hitter. Rossetti has been hit by a pitch 3 times today and grounded out to second in the 6th. Corinci takes his lead. The 0-1 to Rossetti. Misses outside, 1-1. The Rivets looking to extend their win streak to 5. Their season long last year was 5. The 1-1 outside again, and it's 2-1 on the lefty from Quincy. Today's DH. 1 for 12 entering today's ball game. Now just 1 for 13 as McGrath throws over to first to check on Corinci, who's back safely. What a play to start extra innings. Rivets up 7-6 now. 2-1 to Rossetti. Swung on and lined into center field. Coming over is Maya, and he makes a running catch for the first out. That was well hit, bound for the gap, but Maya turns on the Jets to make the catch. 1 out for Dom Hughes with a runner on first.
That was arguably Rossetti's hardest hit of the year. Got a good piece of it, but Maya covering a lot of ground in a short period of time to haul in out number 1.
Dom Hughes steps in with 2 extra base hits today. A triple in the 5th, a double in the 8th. The first pitch to him, grounded to the right side. Miles Austin goes to second for 1. That's all they'll get. Corinci slides hard into second base to try and break up the double play. Probably didn't need to, as Hughes has a lot of wheels. He reaches first base on a fielder's choice. Second time he's done that today. Corinci is the second out of the inning at second base. Now the lineup turns over, top of the order, in Drew Grace.
Bit of a blessing in disguise for the Rivets. They have a faster runner in Hughes off first.
First pitch to Grace, swung on and missed. Off-speed offering from McGrath at 74. A nice changeup. It's 0-1. The 1 run in this inning that has pulled Rockford ahead was scored on a bunt by Daniel Corinci that brought home Matt Higgins from second base. That's the difference. Rockford up 7-6 in the 10th. McGrath comes set 0-1, misses inside. It's 1-1.
Grace has been right on top of Woodchucks pitching all day. He is 2 for 4 for walk and a run scored.
1-1 to him. Misses outside. Snap throw down to first is wide. Hughes dives back safely. Pitch was a strike. 1-2. McGrath a strike away from taking us to the bottom half of the 10th. Grace looking to avoid his first strikeout of the day, and he does not. Swung on and missed on a fastball in the dirt. Mirabal reaches out and tags him, and that ends the top half of the 10th. But the Rivets score on the very first pitch of extra innings. Daniel Corinci bunts down the first base line, almost got tagged out, but the ball squirted loose. Matt Higgins came home to score, and the Rivets are up by 1, headed to the bottom half. Buckle your seatbelts. The Rivets could win it. The bottom half coming up on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Wausau. Rivets up 7-6, headed to the bottom half of the 10th. Noah DeLuga comes on to close it down for the Rockford Rivets. Adam Cohen, the soon-to-be freshman at Minnesota, has been stellar for Josh Keim out of the bullpen this year.
Larry, we even have a nickname for him already. It's Houdini, because he always gets out of big situations. He'll come in with a runner on second base and no one out. Rivets are hoping that he can throw a scoreless frame, secure the sweep against the Woodchucks in their 5th straight on the season so far. He has 6 innings pitched and just 2 runs allowed.
DeLuga does have some strikeout stuff as well. 4 strikeouts to 5 walks. But he has been relatively consistent. Comes in with a 1-1 record all out of the bullpen. Of course, international rules as we went over in the top half of the 10th. Starting on second base is Adrian Maya for the Woodchucks. He made the final out of the 9th by striking out. So it'll be 2-3-4 for the Woodchucks. Pablo Ruiz, Caleb Denny, and Brandon Seltzer. DeLuga comes set for the first pitch to Ruiz. Misses low and in. Hampy snags it out of the dirt for ball 1. In right field, getting subbed in for Cam McDonald, is Jake Vanderwall. Vanderwall, the new right fielder. DeLuga looks in for the sign. Comes set. And delivers the 1-0 to Ruiz. Breaking ball, check swing, did he go? No, he did not, says Nicholas Webb, who's down at second base. Ruiz has 2 hits today. They came in the first 2 innings. Came around to score in the first. Since then, he's 0 for 2. Lefty on righty here as DeLuga steps off to stare Maya back. Ruiz, the right-handed hitter, with a long flowing hair out of his batting helmet. Waits for the 2-0. Here it is. Ground ball to short. And Grace can't handle it. Stopping at third base is Maya. Reaching on an E6 is Ruiz. 2 errors on Grace here this game. They've been costly, and that's not good. Not a good way to start the bottom half of the 10th for the Rivets.
Grace has struggled over at shortstop today, but that one was a tough one. Nasty hop, probably around the lip between the dirt and the grass at shortstop, caught him up. He was ready for the high ground ball to come to him, but instead of to stab his glove. Now runners on the corners.
Then he steps in for the lefty-on-lefty matchup. The first pitch to him. Misses low. Hampy has to drop to his knees to prevent the tying run from scoring on third base. Rivets up 7-6, bottom half of the 10th. Matt Higgins scored in the top half to put the Rivets up. Now they need to get out of a runners on the corners jam. Here's the 1-0 to Denny. Off-speed offering, check swing, did he go? He did. Strike 1. Denny has 2 strikeouts today. 0 for 4 total. The redshirt freshman from Oral Roberts has power. Could end it with 1 swing of the bat. The 1-1 to him as the runner goes. Hampy pump fakes as Ruiz steals second base. Now a hit could win the game. Pablo Ruiz represents the winning run on second base. Adrian Maya, the tying run on third as the Rockford infield moves in. 1-2 count on Caleb Denny. A strikeout here would be big for DeLuga, but of course the double play has been eliminated. DeLuga comes set at the belt, delivers the 1-2. Denny lays off an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball on the outer half, and it's ball 2.
Nice job by Hampy keeping that ball in front of him. Can't let anything by him with runners on second and third.
DeLuga, the 2-2 to Denny. Fastball called, strike 3 on the outer corner. That's a big first out for the high school senior DeLuga. Now there's one away for Brandon Seltzer coming up for his first plate appearance.
The strikeout makes things easier for DeLuga, but it's not over yet. Still just one out. Runners on the base paths. Base secondary from Pablo Ruiz off second and Adrian Maya off third.
And now there will be an intentional walk issued to Brandon Seltzer to load the bases with one out here in the bottom half of the 10th. That puts the double play back in order. A smart move. Rivets up by one. Now the bases are loaded. Adrian Maya, the international rules runner, on third base. Pablo Ruiz on second. And now Seltzer on first base. Seltzer came into the game in the 8th to pinch run for Cale Baker after he hit a double. And now it brings up the 5-hitter in Leighton Banjoff. Big spot for Banjoff, who's reached twice today, singled in the 6th. Lefty on righty, the first pitch, called strike. Change up on the outside corner to the right-handed hitter Banjoff, and it's 0-1.
Banjoff is a power threat, has a double and home run on the season.
0-1 to him. Swung on down the third base line, fielded by Heinrich, who throws home for the force, and it's foul. What a play that would have been from Jeff Heinrich if that was a fair ball. And honestly, Adam, it did look pretty fair. The ball bounced once down the third base line. Heinrich hopped, fielded the ball, and landed in foul ground. The home plate umpire, Eric Martinez, signaled it was foul. Now it's 0-2 on Banjoff. Does DeLuga dare go to the breaking ball with the runner on third?
I think you can trust in Hampy behind a dish, so I wouldn't be all too surprised.
DeLuga sets at the belt for the 0-2, and he hit Banjoff. Banjoff is hit, and that brings home the tying run. Adrian Maya scores on the hit by pitch on an 0-2 count. 7-7 in the bottom of the 10th now. That is costly. Bases remain loaded for Adam Frank. Excuse me. It's Jesse De La Cruz, who came in as a defensive sub in the top half of the 10th. His first at-bat today. Did not face the Rivets last series, but went 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. Sophomore from Broward College. First pitch to him. Breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by Hampy. 1-0. Bases loaded. Ruiz on third. Seltzer on second. Banjoff on first. Rockford looking to extend their win streak to 5. 1-0 from DeLuga. Called strike and a snap throw down to third base. Hampy can't handle the throw home from Heinrich, and the winning run scores. Pablo Ruiz comes home to steal home to walk off the Rockford Rivets.
It wasn't even a bad idea to try to throw down to third base. They had him at home, but Hampy just unable to corral the low throw from Heinrich, and just like that, the Rivets fall 7-6 to the Wisconsin Woodchucks.
That one will be scored as an E2 on Ryan Hampy. A tough throw to handle from Jeff Heinrich. DeLuga stepped off, threw to Jeff Heinrich. Had Ruiz caught in no man's land between third and home plate. Heinrich threw home. A little bit low to Ryan Hampy, and Hampy couldn't dig it out, and Ruiz scores the winning run. The Woodchucks score 2 runs in the bottom half of the 10th to beat the Rivets by a final of 8-6. Adam, this one was a heartbreaker.
Really chaotic end. It looks like the Rivets had momentum after they scored a run in the top of the 10th, thanks to a Daniel Carintry sack bunt and then an E3. DeLuga didn't look too bad, but just hitting the pitch on 0-2, hitting the batter of 0-2, which scored in Maya, and then not even a bad idea to throw down to third base, but just a poor defensive outing from Hampy, who couldn't corral the ball, and that's the difference in tonight's ball game.
An uncharacteristic 3 errors from the Rockford Rivets today. Adam, that certainly could have made a difference as both those runs in the 10th inning were unearned.
It certainly can, and definitely some tough hops that we saw today. Infield has hindered the effect of Heinrich and Grace, but when it came down to it, just a poor end of the inning and a poor showing from Hampy when it mattered the most.
Noah DeLuga gets charged with the loss and the blown save as the Rivets headed to the 10th up by 1. They scored 1 run in the top half of the 10th on a sac bunt and an error. Daniel Carinci drove home Higgins on the first pitch of the 10th inning, put the Rivets up by 1 run, but the Woodchucks stormed back. Quick recap of this one. The Chucks got up early, 4-0. The Rivets came back with 1 run in the 3rd, 5 runs in the 5th. Woodchucks scored 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. A late inning comeback for them. And, of course, an eventful 10th inning leads to an 8-7 Woodchucks victory in 10 innings. Dethan McGrath gets the win for the Woodchucks, and as we mentioned, DeLuga gets the loss.
Another tough luck loss for DeLuga, his 2nd loss of the season. It was a back-and-forth ball game between the Rivets and Woodchucks. They end up splitting the series 1 apiece. The Rivets will be playing in lacrosse tomorrow at 6:35. As their 4-game winning streak is snapped, they fall to 9-5.
As for the Woodchucks, they will head to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Booyah. With this loss, as Adam mentioned, it snaps the Rivets' win streak at 4 games. They cannot tie last season's high win streak of 5 wins, and they fall to 7-5 this season. As for the Woodchucks, they improved to 3-8. Really nice victory for them. Would have been easy for them to get down after that 5-run 5th for the Rivets, but they stayed with it and came back to win this one.
They seem to have just kept finding a way, taking advantage of the poor Rivets defense and the opportunities given to them. Back in the 8th, we saw a Bach that scored in the game-tying run. The 10th, a bases-loaded hit by pitch from DeLuga, as well as errors from Grace and Hampy. And that's all the difference for today. The Woodchucks offense never let up. They kept fighting, and they came out with a victory.
So to wrap things up, the final line in this one, first for the victorious home team, Wisconsin Woodchucks. 8 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. For the Rockford Rivets, 7 runs on 8 hits and 3 errors. Adam, Cohen, any final thoughts?
The Rivets can't let this one get to them. They're still on the road for the next couple days against the Loggers. So although this one hurts, they have a long bus ride to think about it, get their mindset, and hopefully they can do well against the Loggers.
Rivets head to lacrosse for a 6:35 game tomorrow. You can catch that one on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. As for Adam and I, we will talk to you on TV on Wednesday on the Northwoods League Baseball Network as the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders come to town. But for now, signing off from Wausau, Wisconsin, for my partner Adam Cohen, I'm Larry Larson. Rivets drop a heartbreaker, lose 2 runs in the bottom half of the 10th, and fall 8-7 against the Wisconsin Woodchucks. We'll talk to you later. So long, everybody.